Greetings, traveler.
Yeah.
Okay, so which class would you pick here if you were playing on your own?
I'd probably pick priest because I generally prefer playing priest.
I think we can already fix
But
your biggest mistake.
yeah, but the expansion with the removal, well, the less drops of dragons kind of
Yeah,
show on
so
that.
I mean, obviously everybody plays the game how they want to, right?
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a better result, I'd say just stay away from priest completely.
Yeah.
It's pretty difficult to do consistently very well with priest. Like Hafu pulls it off, but you need to do some very weird drafts and weird plays from time to time, and I think it's just inconsistent to say the least. So if we're just trying to get good results, I'd pick the mage, and I think there's
Because I
also.
know hunt is also pretty bad.
I mean, I love Hunter. I mean, if it were purely up to me, I'd snap pick the Hunter here. I love playing Hunter, but for coaching, Hunter is so different that I think you're gonna get a lot more value if we teach Mage, because
Yeah.
the skill set you learn with Mage, you can branch out towards other classes a little easier, whereas Hunter's pretty specific to what you're doing.
Right.
All right, so you can just tell me which card you would like, and then I'll let you know if we're gonna go with that or not.
I'd probably go with the glyph here because of the discover.
So, what's the reasoning to pick that over, say, Meteor?
Uh, Meteor, I've actually found hard to get the AoE effect to do enough. I mean, the 15 damage to a single minion is great. It's almost a kill, but I find the spread can sometimes screw you over, especially if there's like a death rattle on board that you don't want to trigger.
Oh, I don't think it
Just,
happens very often. So you're afraid that you're going to have to kill. I think you're the first person I meet that talks about Meteor and says, I don't think Meteor is that good because I might kill more than I intend to. That's amazing. I mean, generally in Arena, we want to kill their things, right? Sure,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll have the 1/1 that summons the 5/5, that can happen. But honestly, the adjacent damage is almost always a plus. It's never like I really didn't want to kill that extra guy.
Uh,
Um,
I've been screwed over it more than once.
oh, interesting. So what have you had to kill? Which wrecked your board? Like a
Pardon?
Nerubian,
Oh,
like an egg or something, or
well, basically, the guy had put a bog creeper next to the 1/1 and the egg.
oh wow,
So,
the
so
dream.
if I hit the bog and the meteor,
Now
they
that
summon the
guy,
5/5
that
and the
guy,
4/4, and I was like, well,
that guy figured out the meta, guys. Draft eggs and put them next to your big guys, and Meteor is no longer a card. I'd still pick the Meteor. I think in Arena, just the ability to either AoE your opponent's board, take out one big guy, or do both is pretty ridiculous. Glyph is good, right? Glyph is really good, but I think that with Glyph you're still taking a small chance, whereas Meteor is just by default a sick card. So I'd
Yeah.
pick the Meteor here.
yeah, that's fair. Oh, I'd be tempted to pick up Fireball here.
Yeah, absolutely.
decent.
Fireball's insane. It's a really good card.
Probably Firelands or Cone of Cold.
So how close is the decision for you? And what's the reasoning for entertaining the Cone of Cold?
If you can't kill it off, and it's cheaper, so you can play it sooner. I've had a few times where I've had Firelands quite early on in my hands, and it's just sit there.
Okay.
By the time I used it, the board's already snowballed.
So what I'm hearing right now is, and this is something that is frequent with a lot of players that are getting better at the game, is I stay away from big cards because they can screw up my mulligan and then I die. Basically, right? That's what I'm hearing. You're
Yeah.
like, it's stuck in my hand, I can't do anything. Okay, so that is a decent strategy for getting the 3-4 wins, right? Now to get to that next level, you will have to draft in a way where you still get your high value cards and not get wrecked.
I don't actually like Arcane Explosion all that much. Is that bad?
It's not terrible. It's I don't think it's insane. I think that right now, because the deck has 3 spells, we kind of just want a thing to play. Sorry. So what I was saying is, I think normally Arcade Explosion is kind of okay because it helps you survive if your opponent spreads. But
Yeah.
in Mage, there's definitely this situation where your hand is full spells and your opponent doesn't have anything, and you just need a
Yeah.
thing to play.
I've had that a few times.
I
think I drafted a mage deck once where I
Yeah.
pretty much picked all the spells. I think I had like 10 spells.
Yeah,
There were
it's
many
it's
times
like
I had like a handful of spells. I'm like, oh, great.
it's like a luxury problem, but we still want to avoid it.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably pick Eggnapper over Violet, and this I think is close and a bit more of a, I still need to experiment more, but Eggnapper feels good, feels like a good card, so I think we're happy picking it up, mostly because it slows people down. As a mage, you're not too afraid of losing value because your value is already pretty insane.
I don't tend to have all that many minions on board to make use of the Sea Giant.
But would you rather pick it over the other two? Or...
Yeah, but probably pick it over the other two.
Yeah.
I've
So-
not had great luck with Greater Arcane.
Let's talk about some numbers, right? If you have 3 guys, Sea Giants is 7 mana, 8/8.
Yeah.
That's kind of fine, right? That's not
Yeah.
great, but that's kind of fine. And it only gets better from there. So even though Mage, I agree, Sea Giant's not as good in Mage as it is in other classes, it's still a fine card. We'll still pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not Cold Light.
Yeah, definitely
No,
not the Cold Light.
I mean, Mortal Reflection could do good if you get it at the right time.
So this is a great pack to illustrate that balance. If we're gonna pick bigger cards, right, we're also gonna have to focus on having some small cards to keep us alive. So I definitely pick Pine-Sized here.
Pine-Sized.
Molten Reflection is a little bit too conditional in order to do something. So if you're gonna pick a value deck, you definitely want cards you can play on turn 2, 3, and 4. So you have some early game.
Stuck between Fire Plume or Pompous.
Yeah, it's between those
Is
two.
the battle cry deal 2 damage is good.
So are you now thinking about just having enough early game, and that's why you might not pick the Phoenix, or what's the decision making?
Kind of, but we still do have a lot of cards we can go through.
So Phoenix
Now,
itself is also really
that's-
good at staying alive, because if your opponent's pushing aggressively, they'll usually have a 3/2, and Phoenix can just shut that aggression down. So Phoenix is both good for value, curve, and just staying alive. So Phoenix is definitely the pick for me here.
Probably the Elemental.
All right, interesting. Why are you drawn to the Elemental over, say, Fairy Dragon?
You get the 2/1/2s afterwards.
Okay, so I think this once again is where we go to that balance. The Igneous Elemental is, in the grand scheme of things, maybe a tiny bit better for value, because you get 2 dudes out of it, right? But you have to play them as well. So that's essentially, if you look at that, that's 5 mana for a 2/3 and 2/1/2s. That's a lot of mana for not a lot of stuff. So that's number 1, right? Number 2 is that you should look at those cards in general as just kind of being bad. Like a 3 mana 2/3, like that's really bad for you. I think something that I'm seeing right now is that you need to do the vanilla test more when you're looking at minions. What that means is you look at a minion and you kind of disregard its effect for a second and say, if this minion didn't have an effect, would I pick it? Now, obviously, there's some cards like Bitter Tide Hider. You're like, hell yeah, no effect. That's great. So try to limit it to more negative effects, or positive effects rather. So what we do here is you look at that. You say a 3 mana 2/3. Would I pick that? No. So the effect needs to be really good. Like Cult Master has a really good effect. So you're willing to give up some stats for that. This thing's effect is not nearly good enough for it to be poorly statted. Whereas Fairy Dragon 2 mana 3/2 that passes the vanilla test. That's a good stat line. So I definitely pick the Fairy Dragon here.
Alright.
That's already going to get you a lot better results. If you just do the vanilla test, you just check, would I draft this minion if it didn't have the effect? That's going to get you a lot better draft.
Here? It's polymorph.
Oh yeah, there's no decision. It's polymorph for sure.
Probably go with Counterspell or Demolisher.
I think the counter's fine. I think this is more of meta-specific thing, but Counterspell has some synergy with the Arcanologist, which we can draft. And in general, there's also a lot of big spells going around with Meteor and such.
Yeah. I'd probably pick up the Fledgling.
So it's a little less powerful in Mage, but I agree. The reason why it's a little less powerful is we're not going to be focusing on getting a ton of early game on the board. So we're probably not going to have 1-drops, and if we do, it's like 1 or 2 max. Whereas a more aggressive deck benefits more from the Fledgling because it's easier to snowball. We'll still pick it though because it demands answers, it demands respect. This card.
Only got 1 elemental currently.
It's true. This one is tough. This is a tough pick.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't find Doppelgangster to be all that. I wouldn't say it's not good, but not all that good in Mage because you don't tend to get the hand buffing cards like you do in like Paladin.
So this is actually not a fair pick for me to ask because this is only something I've discovered recently, and I'd like to experiment with it further. Normally, I would say that it's an easy Steam Surger. The card is good, right? It's a 4-mana 4/5. It's an elemental. It gets you more stuff. However, there is a very particular problem in this meta, which is Rogue. And Rogue does not deal with Doppelgangster well whatsoever. Rogues normally love for you to play a 5-drop. Because they go like, oh, I'll just Foul Spine it, I'll Envenom it, I'll Sap it, I'll Shadow Strike it, I'll do whatever, is on that list of things. You play a Doppelgangster, it's like Betrayal, that's it. There's no more Skulker, right? So, very particular to this meta, because it's like Rogue infested, I'd pick Doppelgangster. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Sorry, I saw Humongous Raise Leaf and I thought the what Toast was doing.
Oh yeah,
distracted.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, then he got vanished. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious. I love when he I think he had 32 32s on board, and he walked away thinking I've got this. And he vanishes and he comes back and he's just standing there thinking,
Gets
what?
the sad violin for sure.
Oh, that was great.
Alright. Unfortunately, we do lack the priest class and some priest cards
Yeah.
to pull that off. So what would you like for the other two?
I don't know. It'd be a toss-up between Backroom and Corrupted. I'd probably lean more to Corrupted.
I agree. I agree.
6/6.
We're not the class that has a lot of stuff on board for the bouncer,
Yeah.
so the heal bot makes more sense. I agree.
Second Poly?
Absolutely. Poly is just one of those cards you can't have too many of. Being able to deal with a minion unconditionally is ridiculous.
I'd probably be tempted to pick up Firefly here.
I'm tempted to agree. I don't think the card's amazing, but we might pick up an elemental synergy card here or there, and it helps us out a tiny bit with the early game. So I agree.
Oh, the Swarm is useless.
Yep, that's true.
I'd probably pick the Spike Hog Rider.
I agree.
The amount of taunt.
Yeah, it matches up particularly well with Tark Reaper. So that's nice.
Tempted towards the Berserker.
I agree. Just having a thing to play.
Yeah. Fireball.
Yep. Oh man, we are getting a pretty interesting list. Holy shit.
I only have really one secret.
It's true.
So.
But what did I tell you earlier?
Can't remember.
Well, I've said a lot. In regards to minion their stat line. So why is Medivh Valley a good 2-mana card? is if you remove the text, it's playable. It's a 2-mana 2/3.
Yeah.
So essentially, those are cards you're looking for. I'm not saying we pick it here, right? But when you look at a card, and this is a common, mistake people make, is they read the text and then decide whether the card is good for their deck based on whether that text has synergy with their deck. What you need to do is you need to look at the card and first say, is this stat line appropriate for the mana cost? If it is, and the effect is good for your deck, it's amazing. If it's not, it's fine, right? If the stat line is bad and the effect doesn't do anything, it's terrible. So the only reason I'm entertaining the Valet instead of the Ogre is we
don't have a lot of early play.
Yeah, we also don't have a lot of big guys, but I feel like our late game is just fireballs and hit them in the face. So, I think I just want curve right now. So I pick the Valet here. Yep.
All right. Totally situational, and I've never had that do anything good.
Alarmabot, yeah, it's not very good. What would you pick here?
Probably the Watcher.
I think I like the Crawler. It's just another 2 to make sure we don't get... basically this is once again that balance, right?
Yeah.
Picking some nice greedy cards and then evening that out with some early game to keep us alive. Plus the effect is insane if it goes off. It's very fun.
I love Mana Bind. Especially when you get late game, you play it and they play some big spell.
Yeah, but once again, it's a little bit too conditional. So...
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the sad moment, but it's like to be a good player, you need to be a little bit more boring. You need to look like some flashy combos and good effects, but playing a 2-mana card on turn 2 is also pretty good. So I picked the 2-mana card here. Yeah.
Thunder Lizard isn't terrible.
It's not terrible. What are you thinking?
I'll probably pick it just to have a bit more early.
So this is basically the entire strategy behind my mage drafting, right? And this is already a little bit more advanced, but it's still good to know. When I'm drafting mage, I'll pick the greed card if it's really good, and if it's meh, I'll pick the early game card. Why do I do this? It's because I can then pick every great late game card that crosses my path without screwing up my curve. So you see that we consistently said, let's just pick the 2, let's just pick the 2, let's just pick the 2. What do we have right now? 5 2s, 2 3s. That's closing in on reasonable. Like, that's closing in on enough. What does that allow us to do now? More portal. Yeah, because this basically just says we will not lose in the early game, and we also will not lose in the late game. So that just creates a very strong strategy for your deck. So definitely portal for me.
Right.
Oh my god.
Is 3 polymorphs too much?
No, I picked polymorph. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Do we have enough removal?
We have enough. We have so much removal. We'll be throwing Firelance Portal at their face at some point. We'll just be like, they're out of stuff. Let's just throw phase.
I like this engine.
So on turn 4 we have 2 guys. So the only reason I'm considering the Worgen is because it kind of doubles as a 3. I think the Senjin's still correct though, just a thing to play. So let's go Senjin. Yeah.
I came across this problem last time where I had too many spells.
Fireless Portal is basically what you have to think about. Fireless Portal is it's just a really good minion. It's a 5-drop that also shoots 5 damage, so you can always throw it at face. So yeah, you're almost never gonna have too many Fireless Portals. That card is just dumb.
Potion of Polymorph.
So what are you thinking here?
Potion of Polymorph for Devil's Egg.
So what would the egg do for us?
If they had an AoE, you you could potentially combo it with some Fury.
Okay. What does Potion of Poly do for us?
Removes a minion, but it's no guarantee that'll be a big one.
Alright. What it allows for us to do, more than anything, is a way to develop mana. Because we'll have this problem where we'll just sit on a ton of removal, and they won't have anything yet. So what Potion of Polymorph allows you to do is have like a down payment on your removal, and it synergizes with your Medivh's Valet. So I would pick Potion of Polymorph here.
Right. Glacial Shard isn't bad.
It's not bad, no, it's not bad. But so
But
there's
Fireball.
just, you know, if I'm not gonna make you do it, right? Because that
Yeah.
would be an atrocity. We'll pick Fireball, right? But to have a good coaching session, we should redraft. Because what you're gonna learn here is that mage cards are good. So it's like, I feel like we've already covered a ton of work in the draft, which is great. And we'll play out the deck, don't worry, chat. You'll be able to see it. But if I were like a super strict coach, I'd say, retire, redraft. This deck is too good. I can't coach you with this deck. It's too good. But it's cool. Like this will still, like, you'll still learn a ton. Don't worry about it. All right, it's big Fireball. Oh dear God. I've never had, so okay, I know I said we always keep picking Polymorph. Now I'm genuinely considering it might not be the Polymorph. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to save this deck and snipe Crypt when he's on you. Holy shit, this deck. What the fuck?
I don't know, we have a lot of spells, and it's an elemental.
So we don't have any elemental synergy. I'm basically just considering, I think it's between the Tentacle and the Polymorph. It's just that, oh man, Polymorph is so insane. Alright, you know what? We can just do it for science. I've never had too many removals in Mage. I've just never had it. So let's try Polymorph, right? At this point, we can just do some science.
Right.
Okay.
Blaze Caller is good if you get the Firefly, or what's the other
So we have Firebloom, Phoenix, and Firefly.
Yeah.
I would just pick Blaze Caller because it's a thing to play. We'll probably not play it for a long time just because all other cards in our deck are better until this thing gets triggered. So we could save up Firefly for this and then use it.
Essentially,
on 6.
it's almost viable.
Yeah, if it works, right? If it works.
If it works, yeah.
So I'll pick it.
Ancient Giant isn't all too bad considering the number of spells we have.
That is true. Let's just quickly run a check. We have 1,
3 fireballs,
2...
4 polymorphs, 7, 10 spells.
No, we've got secrets as well. So we got two secrets, 5, 9, 12, 13 spells right now. Huh. I would say normally it's an easy charge Devil Star, and it probably still is. But yeah, Arcane Giant is actually something to be.
I'll probably take it because it's a 7/7 charge, even if it can't hit pace.
Yeah, I think the Devil Star is better, but Arcane Giant would be totally respectable in this deck. It's just that Devil Star is good. It'd be good to go. So guys, a little bit of a slower draft, but honestly, this is what learning looks like. Just let me know when you're in game. All right, I'm loading in.
You asked for it.
That polymorph pick, I liked it. Alright, so down to playing. So which cards would you like to keep here?
The Firefly, because it's turn 1.
Yeah, just the Firefly seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like keeping that because that's more of a later play.
No, I think just Firefly is correct.
Yeah.
Basically, in this deck, we don't keep spells. We have so many. Like, we just look for minions.
Yeah.
If Fundi says the deck is weak to spread, you could only go 3 to 4 depending on what you face. That is true, but we have done our best to get a lot of 2s to combat that. Alright, so play the Firefly. Yep. Top classes for me at the moment are Mage and Rogue. I think Hunter, Paladin, and Shaman are also performing very well. But I'll need to try those out. Alright guys, I'm gonna be focusing on the coaching session right now. So less answering of questions, more focusing here. Alright, so what would you like to do here?
I'd be tempted just to go face, but healing totem can be proved quite a bit of a pain.
If you go face, would you use your hero power on his face, or would you
No.
play the flame elemental?
I'll play the flame elemental,
To do. What to do.
so I had another body on board.
I agree. I think playing the elemental and going face is better than killing the totem. This way we'll have 2 power available to challenge his potential 3-2.
Mm.
And then we'll have an empty board for the fledgling, which would be really nice. But we'll have to see. Might be that deck Napper's better depending on what he plays. Only 1 meteor. Literally unplayable. Yeah. Literally unplayable, guys.
Oh, poisonous.
So let's start first things first. Would you trade your minions into this thing, yes or no?
Probably, because then I could play the 3-drop.
Yeah, so let's start off by trading. I agree. That's just a good deal. Our 1 mana cards for his premium 2-drop.
Yeah.
So which 3-drop do you think is better here, the Egg Napper or the Fledgling?
Probably the egg, because it's still 3 attack.
Normally, I would agree with you. But because Fledgling has such a premium effect, if it can attack the face, I would go for the Fledgling here. Especially because we can protect it with the Sen'jin the turn after.
Alright.
Yep. But normally I agree. The 3-1 was better for trading. For this pretty much exact thing, right? If he just plays a thing, we'd feel happier to trade.
Ah, I can't fire plume and pick. Could play the Sen'jin.
I agree. Think Sen'jin's better. Would you like to trade this or not?
Probably not, because he has to run it in anyway.
Not always, but I agree. I think that not trading is best, because we have some pretty cool stuff that happens if this goes face.
Yeah.
Oh, might see the tidal surge thing here, the 4 mana heal 4. Because he wasn't tempted to kill the fledgling last turn. It's probably not a lightning bolt. Yeah.
Took a while to decide on that.
Oh well,
like,
we're
want
gonna
to
be
do this?
thinking. We're gonna be thinking long as well. So. it's all
Yeah.
good. So you can just tell me every time, right? What you're thinking.
Yeah, oh, I was thinking of playing pint size, because that produces 1.
Say again.
But I was considering pint size, because I could still then play either Fire Plume or Egg Napper afterwards.
Well, it doesn't work on the given turn, right? Pine size will only activate the turn
yeah,
after.
next turn.
Yep.
Alright, okay, yeah.
So given that,
probably
what are you thinking?
Doppelganger.
Yeah, I think the doppelgangster and trade the bear is fine. I think it's quite likely we're getting hit by an AoE effect, because he was thinking about preemptively trading. But we're okay with that. That's still a 2 for 2. We've killed his bear. He's killed our doppelgangster and our Sen'jin. Or not. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. So Fire Plume, the Dire Wolf.
That's happening. I agree.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about which other card would be better.
Probably Fairy Dragon, because it's hard to get rid of.
I think the pint size is slightly better just because we're probably using that thing to kill a totem anyway. And then we can play Fairy Dragon later when it matters. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not a big thing.
Right.
I think pint size works on the first turn. Yeah, but I mean, you play pint size, so she's the first minion, right? She states that the first minion you play costs 1 less, but you've already played her. So if she were appear through a recon mob, it works.
So 2/2 into the totem.
What else are we doing this turn?
I'd like to get rid of this,
And
but I'd probably end up using Fireball to do it.
I agree. We have plenty of removal. Being greedy seems like a bad idea. Yep. And then yeah, 2/2 into the totem in 3 face.
Three
What else would you
face,
do?
then probably play the Berserker.
Yeah, I agree with the Berserker. Right. Versus Shaman, not too important. Versus Mages, Rogues, Hunters, we're gonna have to look on positioning and see where
Alright.
things go. Yeah.
Two poison. I'm tempted to throw down the Fairy Dragon as a potential poison threat, but I'll probably go for the 3/5 anyway.
So very specific to this expansion, I'm just thinking about Volcano. Just thinking how much we want to play and whether it makes sense to go too aggressive here. Because I think the default play is indeed just play the minions. How much would we have?
I mean, if we're worried about Volcano, we could play Eggnapper.
Yeah, he'll trade the Wasp in it first though, so there still will be no
Oh,
survivors.
true.
I think just Eggnapper is fine. I think it's a close call. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, do we? Okay, we don't. Let's just ping his
Oh,
face.
sorry.
It's fine. I was thinking about pinging the Berserker to push an additional damage, but I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. The thing is, like, he probably trades the Wasp in it anyway, so he may have missed the damage that way, but if he trades the Wasp, I guess we're okay with that. Kano takes out the 1/1s as well. No. Not unless he trades first. So Kano won't kill thing that
Always
spawns
gets
from a
the
death rattle.
no. Probably Firelands and then 2/2.
Yeah, let's fire lance it first, see what comes out. Maybe that changes our decision. It's a pretty reasonable thing to get. Yeah, trading off the 2/2 is fine. So what do we do now?
I'll probably put the 3/1 to the totem and 3 face.
Yeah, and then we can talk about whether we'd like to play Fairy or ping his face, right?
If we're worried about AoE, the ping would be better.
I agree. I would ping face. Yeah. How was pinging the Berserker wrong? Well, it's not a thing of right or wrong. You're lowering the toughness on your board by 1. So, for instance, now your opponent can kill your Berserker with a Tidal Surge. Alright.
Shame can't play Fireball and Firelands. That'd be great.
So, what do you want to do here?
I'd probably Firelands the 5/4.
So, what's the
3, 1
first
to
thing?
2/2.
What's the first thing we do every turn?
What to do? What to do?
Trade.
I had this earlier.
No.
So the first thing I do every turn is I check how much damage I have on my board.
Alright.
So, how much do we have?
5, 6, 11. 11 plus 5.
Yeah, or Fireball ping,
6.
more damage.
Yeah.
So, shall we
You
kill
could
him?
Just go face.
Yeah, let's kill him. This is not something that is universally required. Not everyone counts their damage first. It's just something I do.
Alright.
The reason is I just go face a ton. So, yeah.
It is hard.
Probably all but the Egg Napper, just so we do have a 3.
Yep, I agree. Early game is all about looking for our dudes, and then later in the game we want to see these cards come back.
Oh, got 2.
Yep.
Would you coin out the 2?
That depends a little bit on what we draw and what he does, but in general, I wouldn't, because our deck isn't very aggressive. I think coining out 2 drops is usually reserved for more aggressive decks, which curve out very well. Especially in the mage versus mage matchup, saving your coin for like coin Firelands Portal might be worth it.
Hmm.
It's a very specific hand, though.
I mean, we still have another 2.
With this hand, I agree. I think coining out a 2-drop is fine. I probably would have started out with Medivh's Valet. It's kind of a weird way to say it, but he may have had Bloodsail Raider for turn 2. I think in general you're correct saving the Valet. It's just that we've kind of committed to playing Valet next turn, that it probably doesn't get its secret synergy anyway. Then again,
yeah.
we may just pick up a 2-drop here, right? We may just pick up a 2-drop and save the Valet, so I don't think there's a right and a wrong play here. I think it's a very small difference in efficiency. Is this considered a control or tempo deck? This is as control as it gets, my friend. You can't find decks that are a bit more controlling than this. We will kill all the things. 4 polymorphs, 3 Firelands Portals, Meteor, 2 Fireballs, Potion of Polymorph. That's pretty nuts.
Flame Geyser.
Sure.
It doesn't trade. What damage does? Valet in trade?
So, because we have
go
2
Sun Fury,
secrets...
same stats.
Yeah, I would play Sun Fury, but I would go face. I'm okay if he wants to hero power this.
Oh, you mean play the 2 so that has taunt and then just hit 2 face?
Yeah, I'd play the Sun Fury and just hit him in the face. This is what I mean with I'll push damage wherever I can.
Yeah.
This is not always correct.
I spend 2 mana then next turn.
If he wants to hero power this and fall far behind on board, deal. That's basically what we're saying.
Yeah.
Let him do it. Oh, 3 fireballs. Yeah, we have 3 fireballs. Sorry, guys. Easy mistake.
Egg Napper?
Yep, Egg Napper.
Would you push the 2 into the taunt?
No, I would just pass. I think this is a little bit more of a... This is fine. We don't have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take free damage when I can, but seeing as he's now put a taunt, we can just chill. Yep, that was to be expected.
I'd probably polymorph it just because we got more polymorphs.
So, an upside of using Fireball here is that your 1/1 will live. Yeah. And Polymorph will also deal with anything. So in the end game, unless you're pushing damage, Polymorph's almost always better than Fireball. So I would just Fireball it. It's not something that'll happen very often, but this deck has so much removal, we'll be doing these kind of plays quite regularly.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
I'd be tempted to fireball that. And then just throw this into the...
So what I would do here is I would play the heal bot and just kill the 0/2. And this is something I'm going to write down as well. And this is a bit counterintuitive because Reporter is a high priority threat, but it's not going to run away with the game. If he has an answer for our heal bot, we can still kill it next turn. But what this allows us to do is it develops a better board than he has, and then next turn we can remove, and then we'll have a better net board. Whereas if we fireball here or polymorph and then play healbot next turn, that's pretty off curve, right?
Yeah.
So I would play the healbot and then just double trade for that. How did this coaching session come about? You can just email me with a coaching request. It's $50 for an entire session, which usually, especially these kind of decks, take like more towards 3 hours. So that's fairly cheap if I say so myself, when you compare that to hourly rates. But I just really enjoy coaching, and I think it's also fun for the stream. So that's how that happens. Okie dokie.
So fireball in the porter.
Yeah, fireball the reporter. I agree, and then we can go from there. So what are some moves we can make here?
We could play the 2/3.
We could.
You could also ping trade to get rid of the last mirror image.
So what's he gonna do with this 1/1 when the turn comes back to him?
Could remove, could ping.
He's got a 1/2 on the board, right? That seems pretty
Yeah.
efficient at dealing with it. So this 1/1 is basically lost. So what move can we make to make use of this 1/1 body that is technically lost?
Trade.
And how do we trade it? So the 6 and 6 goes into the taunt, and then the
Right.
hero power and the 1/1 deals with the 2/2.
Alright, okay.
That's not the 2/2, right?
Oh,
Okay.
2/2.
It's cool. It's
Wrong
fine. You're basically just so absorbed in the turn that you're not like looking at like the subjective better one. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's absolutely no problem. In coaching, that's gonna happen more because you're very focused on specific things, not the general feel of the turn. That's still fine though. So that was a good concept, right? Making use of our minions, which are technically already dead.
Yeah. Fireland seems expensive, but it does give us another body on board.
That's basically what this deck does, right? This deck is like, my cards are so good that they're not going to keep up with good enough cards. So even if we like quote unquote waste this Firelance, we'll still have 2 polymorphs and a charged Devil Star. So
Yeah.
what would you Firelance?
Probably the 2/2.
I agree. It's weird, right? It's weird, but I think we Firelance 2/2 here. Just for the development.
Oh, I get the doppelganger.
Ah, that development though.
Would you push the 6/5 face?
Here I would push face, yeah. If he wants to use the 1 and the ping and the 2, that's fine. We'll just keep pushing face. Alright, so 5 mana 2/2, Battlecry, kill a 2/2. Not the absolute worst considering our hands, but we would have liked a Juicy Pit Fighter or something along those lines. Punished? Punished for what? Punished for drafting Mage, I suppose.
I'm tempted to polymorph the egg just to remove the oh, I got the ice trick. Remove the death roll.
Well, basically, if the egg fetches him a good card, you can always polymorph the good card.
Oh.
So I don't think it's correct to do that.
Devil Saw into Kerator. 1.
I'm thinking about it, right? I think it's reasonable. So Devil Star will be left as a 7/3. The only thing I'm worried about is that he spends his turn removing the Devil Star, and then we have an awkward play. Whereas if we portal this 4/3, we have guaranteed Devil Star to play.
Yeah.
So I think portal the 4/3 is slightly better, only slightly.
I get it, because it's still a charge, you can still attack with it.
Yeah. I mean, we can always kill his egg if we need to, or we can just play it and pass, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I wanted. I wanted to have something to play next turn guaranteed. Because we have removals, right? We have removals for days. Oh, wow, that's insane. That's really good.
Could fireball it and then play Medivh.
So at this point, we can start thinking a little bit about, do we potentially want to transition into killing him? And would we rather burn a polymorph on this thing instead? Could also use a charged Devil Sword, but that kind of hurts the Devil Sword quite a
Yeah.
bit. So this is very specific to how the game feels, but with this 5 damage going face, I think polymorph as guy, ping it, and play valet is better than the fireball.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault you for using the fireball. I think using the fireball is the more control-oriented play, but this is where I'll come in and give my little bit more aggressive spin on it, where I think, you know, let's say he just got an insane card from Hallucination and his deck is crazy. If we preserve this fireball, there's also another Firelance Portal in the deck. We might just, yeah, so pretty, that's insane, right? Servant of Yogg, give him the thing, holy shit. With this fireball, we might be able to burn him out at some point.
Could Devil Sword into 3/5, that leaves it 7/4.
Yeah, the only problem I have
trade
with
the
that
weapon.
is he can kill it with the 3 and the ping, right?
Yeah.
It might be the right play, it just means that we're gonna have to be really patient. I think it's correct, yeah. I think Devil Sword at 3/5 and ping face, go face is better. So here we basically just say, you know, I'm gonna kill your guy, you're gonna have to kill it off with your guy too, and I'm just gonna play the very long game, which this deck is good at, because we can just keep removing.
Nice little trick. Polymorph into Doppelgangster.
We'll use the far left polymorph to basically make him feel at ease that we're out of removal, because that's a card we've been holding.
And then Doppel.
He'll kill it with a sheep and a ping. That's why I'm thinking whether we ever play it really slow. I think playing Doppelgangster is correct though. Yeah. The thing is that at this stage of the game, you can start to play very, very greedy. It's kind of like it's the game shifts basically 180 degrees, because if you're playing at the very early game, you go like, oh, I don't care if he has to use a hero power. That's good. He loses mana. He loses development. At the very, very late game, he doesn't give a shit whether he has the hero power. He likes the hero power. That's a free card for him, right? So if you can avoid giving him hero power value in the very late game, that's really good. Because our hand was really clunky though, I think playing the Doppelgangster here and just basically just taking 2 guys instead of 3 was correct.
Just a pinch.
Okay.
Probably play the Firefly, just to have another one in hand for if we ever draw a Blaze Caller.
I agree. Playing 1 Firefly is fine. You can put it in the middle. That's fine.
Oh,
it's not a big
right.
deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You just got to make a habit out of putting your smallest minion in the middle versus mage. That's usually the correct
Right, okay.
way of doing things.
Holly ping pace rather than ball.
I think here fireballing it is fine. Yep. Because he just healed, we're not going to get there. Being aggressive is always a little bit of a, you know, you got to feel how your opponent is playing and will you be able to get there. This is also our last polymorph we have in our hand. I know there's one more in the deck, but
Yeah.
if we use this one a little bit too frivolous and he plays a huge
Something
minion,
massive.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll actually have some problems. There was even an option to double trade and ping, but I think we'll get some repeated use out of these guys, so that's fine.
Ping 2/1, 2/2 into 1/1.
So this is where we're going to do some very specific mage versus mage play. And this one is hard to get, so I'm just going to go for it and explain why we're doing it. The 1 and 2 goes into the taunt. So we
Yeah.
can start with that.
This one.
Yeah, and then we double trade into the 5/5 ping it and then just pass the turn. That feels very weird, but we are not under any pressure and there is no reason to give him value for his cards. This way we'll
So
just be
don't
able to...
play anything at all.
No, we're not playing anything at all. We're just passing the turn. If we play the fledgling, he'll just use his 2-1 and
Yeah.
ping. So this is this concept I explained earlier. In the mage versus mage very late game, it is okay to just say like, all right, I'm not going to do anything because I want to kill you guys for free. I don't want to give you any value.
Mm.
Don't do this against other classes and don't do this in the early game because you'll die. But very specific in the late game, mage mirror, this is absolutely okay.
I could play fledgling and send you and ping. Is that too much?
So what's something we're always doing this turn?
Pinging the 2-1.
Yeah, pinging the 2-1. So once again, mage specific. What is a card that he might hold in his hand right now, which would really punish playing both minions?
Fire strike.
Flame strike or meteor? Meteor specific,
Yeah.
right? So I would just play the fledgling. Once again, mage specific. Other
Yeah.
classes, feel free to
And
play
then pass.
both. Yep, just pass.
I want to put my money that's a vaporize of some description.
Could be, could be. Please meteor this thing and make my day. Alright, looks like he held a cookie.
Does counter spell counter secrets?
Yes.
So if I play counter spell
And it's a counter spell, then your counter spell gets countered. Yep. It's
Right.
kind of funny. So let's start with that. Let's start with the counter spell. See what happens.
mana bind.
Mana bind. Oh dear god. Alright.
Oh, so he has a counter spell.
Which means that his counter spell will get counter spell. Alright. Let's go face with this guy and see what we get.
+3 health saves it from the cookie, but Wind Fury would let us attack again.
Yeah, I'd go for Wind Fury. Go for the high roll here. Yep, let's go again.
Divine Shield or +3.
What do you
Plus
think?
you would save it from cookie and ping.
I'd go for the 3 health, I agree. But then we can just play the Senjin and ping his minion. That way we set it up for the trade. This was a little bit more of a difficult turn just because of a secret, right? There's a lot of ifs and whats, and
Yeah.
that's why I think we're always playing this counterspell this turn, so starting with that just checks if we're gonna have an easier turn here. Because otherwise Vaporize was... Like, if Vaporize is an option, you might want to trade and ping, right?
Yeah.
He knew. I guess he just really wants the counterspell on board. Sure. Alright. What do we start off with?
Face.
Yeah, face.
+3 attack.
Seems good. Alright. Face again. Whee! Yeah, this guy is insane.
Oh man, this thing can really snowball. Probably +1/+1.
I agree.
I'd rather not give it taunt. Ping the 3-1, because then he only has 2 on board.
Yep, ping the 3-1 seems like a good start. Would you play Fairy Dragon or not?
Probably not, because it just dies to Raptors anyway.
I agree. I'll just pass.
So just pass.
It's kind of a slow play, but I'm still a little worried about him having a meteor or something, and then it's just wasted.
Mm.
Pyroblast? Okay. That is an answer.
Ping one of the 1/1s. And then Fairy.
Definitely ping one of the 1/1s, definitely Fairy. Let's have a look. I would probably play the pint-sized because it will remove the 1/1 and then remove the need for us to ping that, which means we can put him to 1 HP next turn, which is kind of cool. Yep.
Just find it.
Yep. I read chat, but less. I respond less to chat when I'm coaching because I want to give my students full value of the session, of course.
Oh yeah, because I can't ping the 3-2. I was about to say, why didn't he trade into the 3-2?
Yep.
Can't ping it.
Ooh.
Meteor, face, ping.
So what's the secret?
Oh, counter spell. So, poly then meteor still kills both. And then he's on 2 HP.
First poly something and then meteor, the 5/4. If you go face ping face, you could die to pyro. I think we don't lose this way. Yeah.
Polyface.
Yep. Poly go face. Donk.
None can escape my fury. You asked for it.
I'll probably keep the pint size and the plume. And we'll leave the other two.
The pint size and the phoenix definitely stay. I agree. Keeping another 4-drop is probably good. This is actually a really nice mulligan. I think I probably
drop the berserker.
Yeah, it's kind of close, right? It's like Hog Rider does really well against Senjin. Senjin, of course, protects your pine sized. Yeah, it's probably Ditch Berserker. Close game. Yep.
Probably pass first. So we get Bloom on turn 3.
We'll see what he does.
Yeah.
Yep, let's pass. Against Rogue, it's actually a really good learning experience usually. Rogue is a good opponent to learn from.
So play the 2-drop.
Yeah, play the 2.
You would need to con it out because it becomes 3 because of pint size.
Yep. If it sticks around, which usually isn't the case versus Rogue, but looks like we might get it.
So 5 Plume, 1/4, then 2/2 into the 1/2.
It depends on whether we'd like to Senjin to protect our guy, and then maybe next turn do that play and keep the ramp, or whether we'd like to get rid of that straight away. If our opponent Shadow Strikes Senjin or uses a Venom Weapon, a Venom Weapon's fine, he can't kill our guy. I think I like Senjin a tiny bit more because of that, yeah.
And then just pass.
I would pass, yeah. Which makes a Venom Weapon not kill this thing.
New CabrianaPlays caller. Phoenix into 1/2.
Into the 1/2?
2/2.
Yeah, Phoenix into the 2/2 seems good. Yeah, just probably because we kind of settled on finishing it up with Phoenix, and then he played a better target. That happens. Yeah, a Zoo deck is this deck's weakness, like a lot of spread, early aggression, but we have a reasonable amount of early game to deal with it.
Fireball 3/3, and you can coin out Fairy Dragon.
Yep, I like it. It's seems like an overreaction, but that thing has to go.
Yeah. Into the taunt.
Yep. Then we just coin the Fairy Dragon. Fairy Dragon can go on the right. Untargetable minions usually go on the right, if you have two, because minions. So let's say if you fire on this portal, it spawns on the right automatically, and then your Fairy Dragon's in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, okay.
Yes, Senjin is the greedy play here, but that means that he can just go like Sap, Shadow Strike, and Venom Weapon, go face, get Wind Fury, get Stealth, win the game, so rather not deal with all that.
Could just Engine.
What would you do on top of that?
Probably ping the 5/4. That way if he trades, I can ping the next turn.
Where do you play the Senjin?
We'd play that on the right.
Yep, Senjin on the right hand side, and I agree. Just ping his guy and go face. You can't always fireball next turn. He might get untargetable, he might get stealth, you might not want to fireball. This is clean, there's no need to get risky. This is exactly how you lose with this deck. When you look at the deck that has 3 portals, 3 fireballs, 4 polymorphs, you're like, do I really need to remove that? It's like, yes, the answer is yes. You really have to remove that. Being able to use removal for this deck is a blessing, not a curse. So just accept it that it's like, nice, I get to kill something. Let's do that.
Probably always ping, because there's nothing 5 unless we wanted to play a Sea Giant.
Yeah, that's the one thing, right? You could maybe go Sea Giant and trade. I think the hero power is correct though. Yep.
Hero power the 4/1.
Yep.
Trade into the 2/2. He's gonna get 5 face.
Usually you'd kill the 2/3, but because Brewmaster and Replay, this thing is super nasty, I would kill it, yeah. Kill the 2/2. And then what are we playing?
Probably the Berserker, because it doesn't die to the crab.
I agree. Berserker looks good.
Kid just poly the Subwalker.
I like the polymorph more. He's getting low. Yep. So we can save the fireball for his face.
So poly the Sunwalker 3/5 into the 2/3.
Let's start with Poly the Sunwalker and then see what we want to do. So now the question is, what are we spending the rest of our mana on, right?
If I was to go 3/5 into 2/3, you could play the Fledgling, because you couldn't kill it unless you had something else.
I think that's fine. I agree. Yep. Basically, the reasoning here is it's going to be more difficult for him to deal with both than deal with one. So we're putting 2 threats on the board. One of them's got 5 damage, the other has huge potential. If he has, say, 4-drop plus Valspine Slayer here, he might opt to kill the Fledgling, and then your 5/3 lives, whereas if you go for the ping, he clears your board, which isn't good. Valspine? Kidnapper, sure. Take that.
Not sure I would have gone facing that, but okay.
So, what shall we start with?
Well, we can play everything. Well, we can play anything even after ping.
What to do?
So what's the random thing we gotta do this turn? Like, how do we get more information first? Let's go face with the fledgling, right?
Face.
Yeah. Let's see what we have.
Stealth, can't be targeted. Wind Fury.
Wind Fury, seems good. Let's do it again. Alright, what do you think is better here?
Runs out on
Probably +3 health, because then he
Yeah,
has to
let's go with the health. So what else are we doing now?
Could poly.
Let's play Berserker on the left-hand side and Sea Giant on the right-hand side.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's basically a lack of time. Basically what's, you're gonna get a lot better at the game once you have a structure. So what are some things that you usually do first? And this is usually, not always, right? But you'll usually do the random thing first. So random things include drawing a card, playing a Mad Bomber, checking whether this or that works this turn, right? Because it's not always going to be as clear as now. Like if we're drawing a card, it might completely change our turn, right? Cool.
ping the 6/1.
Yeah, pinging the 6/1 happens.
Just what to do about the egg. I mean, ideally, if we were to pop it, I'd like to keep the Fireland so you can just kill it as soon as it pops out.
So what else could we do?
Poly it.
Seems pretty good of poly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3/5 into the 1/1. Okay, it's a 5/4.
runs out on me.
Because he'll
I-
trade everything into
I
it.
think I'd just play Counterspell and go face. He
Right.
needs to kill this, right? We're just killing him next turn if this thing lives, because we have Fireball, so 6 and 3 and 1 is 10. So
Yeah.
if we push the 3, it's up to him to remove this. Why not Counterspell and Giant? That was probably the line, but because I'm coaching, I'm working more on getting the plays and the ordering straight. This is why I said the deck might not go 12, is because if we're focused on coaching, we're not focused on winning. If we're focused on winning, I'm basically talking that entire turn, and we're gonna end up with Counterspell and Giant. So there's gonna be inefficiencies. That's just gonna happen.
I'll play Firefly to set up Blaze Call in the next turn. And could Firelance his face. Is there any way of him doing 15 damage?
Yeah, the only reason I'm debating the portal is, are we ever like rolling a bomb squad and losing because of that?
Well, so he rolls a bomb squad, that's 2 mana, 5. So it's still another 10 damage he needs to do.
1 bomb, 15, 14. Yeah, I think portal to face is safe enough to do it. Yeah.
The shadows
Yeah.
beckon.
And then I can ping on 1/1.
Sure. All right, GG.
I'll just play the Elemental, because
Sure.
I haven't played it.
Love the money. Feels better.
Yeah!
Bomb. Like, they're not everywhere. Wrong 1/1, should have killed the beast. No, killing the other 1/1 is actually correct, because if he has a silence for that 1/1, it becomes a 3/6. So killing that particular 1/1 was correct.
Keep the Sun Fury. Probably ditch the rest.
I agree. Yep. Look for those minions early.
to coin out the 2/3.
I think once again with this particular hand, I would coin out the Sun Fury. Yeah. Very, very particular draw. Still waiting for the Blood Cell Raider Dream. He's so nice.
And then just play the crab.
Yeah, let's play the crab and kill the 2/2. Pretty straightforward here. When we return to the Smork ways, no, we're playing the Smork class, right? Should have made the bet 12-0. Well, usually we'll start at 6 or 7, so we started at 9 because otherwise I think there's like no fun in the bet at all. Hey guys, I'm going to start to play Arena soon. I'm learning some basics here, wondering how many wins is Arena better than buying a pack. I think starting 4 wins it's better, 3 wins it's roughly the same. But you know, any experience you gain when playing it pays out so much. Like that's worth so much.
Probably Egg Napper here.
So what happens if we play the Egg Napper? What is he gonna trade?
Just the 1/2.
And then he's going to use his 4/3 into our 2/3 and heal it, which means he'll have a 4/3 versus our 2 1/1s. That might be good enough.
Trade him,
but
trade him ping. Is that what you get rid of the 4/3 and you only has a 1/2 on board? But that means we have nothing.
Slows us down a lot as well, yeah. It's a bit more of a tough call. I think I just trade him ping here. Yeah, it's pretty slow. Basically what this does, and I think usually this would be wrong, but it's because it's priest. It gives him less options, right? He doesn't get the Potion of Madness, he doesn't get to buff, he doesn't get to do anything crazy. And you get to remove his threat, so you can get something better later on.
Yeah. Probably Fairy Dragon ping the 1/2. But he's gonna trade that into anyway. Well, no matter what we play, it's gonna die. But if we play Egg Napper, he'll probably just run the 2 into it. Actually, no. Because then you could remove one of the 1/2s then.
The game gets more complicated because of that Wasp, because the game plan was get a good Sea Giant. The Wasp makes that more difficult. I'm just debating the fact if Polymorph ever gets played, the Potion of Poly here. Because that would mean he's going to spread out, he's not going to play a big guy, and that means we get the Doppelgangster. I think I like that more. I just play the Potion of Poly. So a pretty specific reasoning here. We don't want him to play, say, Draconid Operative here, because that would trade very well with our Doppelgangster. So we want to play him. We want him to play 2 small minions, which he is heavily incentivized to do if he plays a secret. And hey, if he plays a 5-drop, you know, better for us, right? It gets fried in the Potion of Poly. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to start playing small minions, and then our Doppelgangster lines up much better with his turn.
So then you just doppel.
Yep, then we just doppel. Get him, boys. So already, you know, a bit more higher level gameplay, right? But this is something you do as a mage quite a bit. If you have a Flame Strike in your hand, turn 6, you'll oftentimes play Mirror Entity to do exactly this thing. Incentivize a spread to then get a Flame Strike. That's why Mirror Entity, I think, is a very fun secret to work with, because it can really funnel your opponent into a play that's beneficial for you. Come on, Wasp. Just gonna sit there, aren't you?
Tempted to poly the Wind Fury. That leaves us either a ping or the Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, poly the Wind Fury, I agree with. And then what makes sense after this?
Ping the 2-1 and then just push 2-face.
I think we ping the 2-1 and kill the sheep. We're not
No.
in a rush to get any damage. Yep. I've done a good job at slowing him down. But yeah, the Wasp is doing so much work. This Sea Giant or this Healbot would have come out a while ago. Well, Healbot not. But... I offered Shady Gwent beta key, you turned it down. Yeah, I just don't have time to play other games right now, Kev. I want to focus on Hearthstone. It's
What is in these rooms?
I don't know. I don't enjoy spreading my attention. I much more enjoy the mastery of one thing than playing a lot of different things. Ooh, Ollie.
Oh, thank God. 6-8. It's awkward.
So what are you thinking here?
Could play Healbot, because that way it brings that down to a 6-2, and also play the Fairy Dragon.
Yep, this is one of those more a little bit of ugly turn where it doesn't feel great, but that's basically in arena.
Because he's at full,
Yeah.
because he's at full health, the death roll doesn't matter.
And he can heal, right? And he can heal as well. But this is just one of those turns where we refer to as just putting stuff on the board, right? You just put your stuff on the board. You can then the turn after start doing good plays.
Could Firelands Yeti.
Do we Firelands the Yeti or do we Firelands the
No,
Bog?
but I say put the bog and trade.
Yeah, I would Firelands the Bog and then just trade. It's on average should be pretty good. Okay, deal. As long as it challenges the Yeti, it's okay. I think if I were him, I would have traded the Fairy and healed. It's kind of slow, but it's alright, I guess. Polymorph! No! Let's go! Let's go! Top deck! No!
Ah!
No. This is bad.
What's your share of Awakens damage? It's like 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
5 more characters.
Awakens is 5.
I could play the Sea Giant. Hope he doesn't death it. Because then you can Fireball next turn.
It's not so much the death, it's the fact that he's 1 in 5 for Dream right now, which is nasty. It's a 0 mana sap. It's probably the play, I'm just entertaining the others, right?
Yeah, I feel like about Dream.
The others are too weak. I think Sea Giant is correct. Clearly we did not draft enough polymorphs. If this can happen. Yeah.
Well, 4 isn't enough.
Nope. Okay, not a dream. That's
Laughing
big.
Sister, not bad. One of the worst ones.
Oh, the taunt though, the taunt. That's bad. Oh, thank God.
So, Parley the Sarah.
1 second. The thing is that Tortolan buffs something. If we're killing that, the buff might land on Ysera and we'll get more Valiato or Polymorph. So let's take a moment to look at the full turn, right?
Oh, so yeah, so trade
So,
first.
If we're polying Ysera, we've got 6 mana left. Out of that 6 mana, are we ever fireballing that Shell Razor to clear his board? Or are we just trading? If we trade, this thing...
Well, if we can Fireball the 2-6, and then we can put the 8-8 into the 3-5. Even if it comes 4-6, we can still trade it.
That's what I'm thinking, right? I think Fireball the 2-6 first, then trade the Laughing Sister, and then Polymorph, ping the Ysera. Yeah. So this is a little... No, ping. I'd ping at Hero Power. He might have Nightmare. Nightmare is like the PO.
Right.
Okay.
0 wins.
Oh my god! This guy is ready for the control game.
8-8.
That is an 8-8.
Might just have to play the Blaze Caller.
Yep, I think it's Blaze Caller and Egg Napper here. No fucking around. Probably lost this game. Holy shit, this guy's draws. The fuck?
Another polymorph, please.
Even so, like the Sarah Awakens plus the fact he's got 8 here, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
If only we drafted more removal. Yeah.
He's got 2 damage here.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Yeah, this guy is our absolute nightmare. A greedy priest is our absolute nightmare. Damn him and his meteor positioning.
Yeah, but say if you put it in the middle, it wouldn't be so bad. But
Even then,
I don't know, even then.
Even then, we don't
yeah.
get there. All right, well, GG.
Yeah.
He had the greedier deck. GG.
You win.
He had a lot of greed. Where's the third poly? Dude, we had like 4 polys. We have 2 more to draw.
For it. Oh, it is on.
Oh. Tempted to fall.
Oh, it's full mulligan as well. Yeah. Max and Max, thanks so much for the 17 months in a row. See you back.
Got thrown at least. And we draw into the fireplay. Nice.
Nice. Yep. Let's play that.
Fairy Dragon plus 1 face.
Yep. Fire Dragon push 1 face. Fairly straightforward.
Gonna play a 3-drop. Volcanic Potion.
Sure.
How bad do you have to be that you got to coin out Volcanic?
I mean, if he has another 3-drop, that might be a reasonable play by him. I don't think that's terrible.
Flame Elemental to ping.
I think I just developed the Potion of Polymorph. If he's got Vicious Fledgling, he's in for
yeah.
quite a surprise. Because if we don't do this and he plays Fledgling and then we play Senjin and he removes Senjin, that's really bad for us. Oh my god. This guy, what a top deck. God!
So, wait. He had... Oh no, it's a 3-drop.
Yeah, he top decked this one. He top decked this one.
Senjin.
Yep, Senjin. It's fine, we're just gonna have to play very greedy in this particular game.
I suppose.
It's going to die regardless. You might as well trade. Trade Berserker.
Yeah, I agree. Trade Berserker. It's a pretty straightforward game so far. We haven't really had a lot of decisions. The other one was we could have held the Potion of Poly, but unfortunately top decked the Ball Courier. Courier, an amazing card to play in that secret. I'd pick 4 of these guys if I could, or more. It's just they're so good for the mirror. Because they give you a thing for a little bit of pressure on board and give you more cards at the same time.
Mm. 3-5 into 3-2.
Which 3 and 2?
Probably the Sun Cleric.
I agree. Killing the Sun Cleric's better.
Do you play Healbot though?
Yep, I just played a heal bot. Once again, pretty straightforward. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna need to wait on a lot of our draws. Basically our strategy is because we're losing right now, right? He's gaining cards on us. He's getting really good trades. He's getting value stuff going, and we're not. So what we need to do is we need to slow down the game until we get all our polymorphs, until we get our Firelance portals, and then those cards need to go 2 for 1 for us. We need to get some value out of those portals mainly.
Oh, double taunt.
Yeah, our draws are not working with this here.
Firebolt 3/5 and 6/6 4/3.
Does that make sense?
Oh no, other way around.
Yeah, other way around. Fireball to 4/3, 6/6 into the 3.
Nice.
Yeah, and just ping face pass.
Devil's Slaw empty boards.
Probably. This is where we get to think about that super greedy thing, right? Because Devil Star is almost always a guaranteed 2 for 1, but not if he gets to kill it now with a Fireball Ping or a Polymorph. Obviously, just skipping and passing an 8 mana turn is not good, so we need to think about this carefully.
I mean, yeah, the other option is Flame Elemental, but rather if
No,
possible, save
that's staying for
Blaze
Blaze Caller for sure. So this,
What to do?
it might be crazy, right?
Don't particularly want to use the
Out
firewalls.
on me.
I think we played a Devil Star. I think it's super risky, but we need to try and get there. We have 2 Fireballs and 3 Firelance Portals in our deck, so if this thing gets to connect face once, we might just get there. I think Hero Power is face and pass is a totally valid play there, by the way.
Alright,
Sure.
get missed. Oh, that could be a Vaporize. That could be a counter spell.
So what are you thinking here?
Well, it depends on what the secret is. I'm tempted to play the poly to see if it's any of those.
I think the poly has to stay.
I wonder.
I think we try going face, go from there. If it's Vaporize, it's Vaporize. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yep. I think now we just play Sea Giant then. That was basically the trade-off. So that was a really tough turn because there's 2 things to consider, right? You can just play Flame Elemental. If nothing happens, you play Sea Giant and you trade. However, that means you're giving up your Blaze Caller trigger, which is part of kind of winning this game. And Vaporize is a pretty rare secret. So that was basically the thought there. It's really because normally that's a pretty easy play elemental, go from there. And the reason we're going face and not kill the 4/4 is we have 2 fireballs in our hands. So
Here's our Firelands. Oh, doesn't make much of a difference what you trade into.
So what are you thinking?
Ping the shields, Fireland Portal, 8/7 to 4/4.
Well, let's ping the shield and portal the 4/5. Let's start with that. See what we get. I agree. Saving Polymorph is probably more useful. This gets to develop something. I would go face. I think we really need his damage. He hasn't shown large removal, and this is once again pretty specific. I don't like our position in this game. I think we're under a lot of pressure to make things happen. If we trade and he just fire flame strikes, right, that's really bad for us. Trading plays around Meteor, that's true, but I don't know. We have 12 points of damage in our hands. With the ping, that's 13. So our opponent technically only has 17 life. If he was on 17, Sea Giant would probably go face a lot easier there. Nice. So what are you looking at?
Firelands trade.
Ooh.
Because it gives the 5-mana minion a posse polymorph.
Wow, this for me is a pretty big one. So if you Firelands and trade, you on average get like what, a 5/5 on board? What happens if we polymorph?
Still got the 8/7.
We get an 8/7 and we get the Dome for 8, right? So yeah, polymorph is definitely the play here. And then hit him in the face for 8. And then we can think about what we... Oh, okay. So I didn't okay to ping on the thing yet, right? Because we might needed that damage on his face, but let's count. Yeah, if we had pinged his face, we'd have Fireball, Fireball, ping, lethal next turn.
Yeah. Shall I Fireball now or just end turn?
I think we play the Elemental, the setup Fireball, Fireball, ping, lethal, in case he removes Sea Giant.
Alright.
Yeah, so it's cool, right? That's why I said in coaching, I literally don't care about the outcome. I mean, it's nicer if I can give you like a higher win run, right? But like the run now doesn't matter. It's about you getting the skills and making this mistake. It's easier to keep that in the back of your mind for later then. So whenever you're in that position, you want to... Oh, he hit the taunt. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Because we developed this 1/1, right? Now we have lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, just trade and...
So, trade, face, ping, Fireball, Fireball.
Yep, absolutely. So, even though we were not in a good position this game, somehow we got Sea Giant to stick, which was huge, right? Sea Giant stuck on the board, hit his face twice. That's just it, right? So, yeah.
Another mage.
You asked for it. Oh, it is on.
Molly both the spells, keep the minions.
Yeah, let's keep the minions.
Hello.
Hello, indeed.
Hello.
Would you coin out something or just leave it as he hasn't played anything?
What do you think?
I probably would.
What would you like to coin?
Pint size.
What does a pint size do for us for next turn?
What to do?
Allows nothing. Well, I say probably would, but you'd have to have coin because it'd be 2.
So what else can we do?
Sun Fury.
Yeah, let's go in Sun Fury. Because the curve works really well if you go Sun Fury, pint sized, and then 3 mana Engine.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty powerful. So the Sun Fury here paves the way for the pint sized. Yep.
2/3 into 3/2, then pint size.
Yep, indeed. And then we can get a nice curve if he doesn't kill it. No more Argent Horse Rider, which is usually the beat to display, so that's good. Could Frostbolt it, of course.
An incredible discovery.
Sure. Ooh, no hits. That's nice.
Doesn't have one. So then Senjin, then Two-Face.
Yeah, Senjin and hit him in the face. Nice. So yeah, another thing for when you're thinking about plays is try to map out your turns. That's going to be a big one. Like, think, alright, so if I'm doing this on this turn, what am I doing next turn? What am I doing the turn out? Like, 2 or 3 turns ahead is totally fine, right? Even though you're going to draw cards, it's always good to have a little bit of a game plan.
What's that do? I can't remember. 3 damage to a minion. I don't particularly want to use any of the spells this turn. But we don't have much for next turn unless we draw into something.
This is a pretty tricky ordering with what I'd like to do here. So I'm just going to talk through this turn and then we'll evaluate it afterwards, right? So because this Volatile pigs 3 damage random, I would probably start by putting the pint sized in his face. And then after the pint sized has gone face, I would ping the 1/1. If the hit goes onto the Senjin, I would trade. If it goes onto the pint side, I think I would go face.
And then push that face.
And now we push face, yeah. So it's a little bit of an ordering thing here.
Yeah.
Because we do have, once again, 2 fireballs in our hands, so phase damage is extremely valuable. Yeah, a little bit of a punish. I think it's still correct, though, to push that damage.
problem that we've only got spells in hand.
Yep, not an easy hand. Not an easy hand. Very explosive. A lot of potential in this hand, but easy to mess it up. So, what would you like to do this? What would you like to do right now?
It'd either be counterspell ping, though ping doesn't actually do much, or poly the 5/2.
So, if you counterspell and ping, what would you ping?
5/2, because then I could ping it next in.
Yeah,
Still
I think that's
play.
correct. I think we'll settle for that counterspell and ping the 5/2. Yep. So an awkward turn, we're gonna take some damage, but then we might get the meteor. We might also get the fireball his turn 6 and ping off this 5/1. If his turn 6 can be fireballed, we might just poly it and ping the 5/1. Alright. If he's spreading, it might be a nice meteor.
Might meet you onto the 5/1 so it kills everything.
That's the first play. Then the alternative could potentially be Eggnapper ping his guy. Then he just pings the Eggnapper and trade. So yeah, I think meteor into the middle seems like it seems like an overkill, but it's one card killing 3 cards. That's still good in my book.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Minus 14 health.
Little bit of an overkill there.
Yeah. Direwolf. Not much changes if we kill the direwolf because it's still lower than 3 health.
So what's something that we're pretty much always going to do this turn?
Ping the direwolf.
I don't think so. I think polymorphing the Psychotron seems like a play that is always happening, right? That's pretty efficient. Yeah. And then let's see. Then the question we need to ask ourselves now, is it better to remove the sheep or is it better to develop the crawler / Eggnapper?
If you put the crawler, then he has to trade both in, regardless.
No, he can hero power.
Yeah, true. 1 ping.
So I'm just going to think out loud here, right? If we Eggnapper, he would ping the Eggnapper and then either double trade or go face. I think we can win the resource battle if we just hero power the sheep. I think it's fine. Right. It's a bit of a slow play, but we have to keep in mind that he still needs to have stuff to play, right? It seems like he's kind of running out of threats and he's just got answers left, which is good because we have a counterspell. Counterspell is good for the answers.
Possibly Sea Giant, but there's nothing else to follow, really.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tougher turn. The problem I have with Sea Giant is he's going to smack us in the face for 6 and things are going to get ugly. So I think we do the slightly less obvious play. I definitely play the 2/2s, like the Eggnapper and the Crawler here. Let's start with that. I'm just trying to figure out what we hero power. If we hero power the dog, we force the trade because we can ping it off next turn. However, he could ram the 3 into the crab and get away here. I think I'd like to hero power the Farseer. I'd like to see that not go to my face. Yep. So tough turn, very tough turn. I think the obvious play there is Sea Giant. You have it protected by Counterspell. If our life total is higher, I am absolutely in agreement that that is the right play. But I'm just afraid he's gonna just hit our face, and that would be bad for us. Counterspell here would be nice. No, okay. Sure.
Poly the 7/6.
Maybe not. Might fireball. Let's think about it for a sec.
Yeah, true.
Sea Giant's coming out, right? Before we do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So there's no...
you know, end up killing one and then finding out, oh wait, can't play that.
I think I'd rather fireball the little friend, so then we'll have polymorph left if he has Bach Reaper or whatever you will, or that giant mammoth. Right.
Yeah.
And then I think we're just double trading the wolf, right, to clean that up. Not an easy game, but really good. This is going to be a really good game to watch in the VOD, and then do it play by play. Like if you want to have max value from your coaching session, no, not today, buddy. If you want to have max value from your coaching session, I recommend rewatching the entire thing and going through it again, like pretending like you're playing and thinking about your plays. This game is going to be very good to replay.
Yeah.
All right.
I like trying to beat you.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. So, what would you like to do here?
Always pushing 8 face.
Always pushing 8 face. Yeah.
Could play the Hog Rider.
Yeah, I think we just play the Potion of Poly, the Hog Rider, and ping his face, right? Just do those things.
Yeah. And then he's dead next to him unless he's got taunt. Or even with taunt. Double taunt.
Yeah, we're more afraid of removal rather than development.
Yeah.
Removal on his end is Firelands Portal top deck.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Firelands it.
so it's at moments like these where I start to look at the life totals, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what happens if we just go face?
5 plus 6 plus 1.
I wonder.
12. So it'll be 5 left. And then you can Firelands next turn and kill him.
I think we just Firelands his face here.
Yeah.
And then next turn we'll get him with the fireball. Yep. I'm gonna just... Yeah, that's fine. Especially if you have some burn in your hand, even though it looked pretty unlikely, right? Because he was still fairly healthy. You start to think like, what happens if I just jam everything face? Like, well, kind of just kill him.
I just lost 6 health. 3 to 1 to 3 to 3. If I play the heal bot, he'll heal for 8.
Yeah, Healbot's not a play we can make.
Polymorph, Fireball, and Ping. Oh no, you can't poly a stealth minion, can you?
Can't poly the Finja.
Yeah.
This is a weird
So
play.
just Ping and Fireball.
We're gonna make a weird play, right? We're gonna polymorph the 3-in-1, so we're not dead to Pyroblast. And then we're gonna ping his face.
And
I would fireball his face preemptively in case he top decks a counterspell, yeah.
yeah, it's just like healing
Basically,
damage.
you might think like, wow, that's a wasted polymorph, but we either win this turn or we lose this turn, right? If he top decks yet another heal, then that's bad for us. He's looking for Ice Block. Ice Block's the only thing that saves him. I think he's bullshitting us, but...
Well,
we'll
I'm
have to
ping his
see.
face regardless.
Yeah, we'll pick his face regardless.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have lethal, unless he has burn in his hand. So let's ping his face and see whether we win or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I always think, I always love when people do this, like, I'll play the secret, maybe he doesn't ping my face. So, counterspell's okay.
Don't see as many Warlocks.
No, Warlock's definitely fallen off a little bit.
Is that because of the reduced chance of missing?
Yeah, two things, right? The meta changed. Rogue and Hunter are pretty good, so they're really good at being aggressive. And you no longer get a shit ton of blast crystals on abyssals.
I'll probably just keep the one drop here.
I agree.
The other two.
Just keep it the one.
Get the Firelands anyway.
Well, that's gonna happen with this deck, right? That's why I said, right? Basically, you were afraid of picking the Firelands for exactly this reason. But we're just gonna have to navigate it well, because they're too good in the late game not to pick. Yeah, no more in-gang boss as well is a huge one.
Alright.
Rotate it out.
Probably the Sun Fury. Because then he can't go face with the Mistress anyway. Even though it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm just trying
Well,
to
you
figure out
could
whether we draw the
trade.
hero power or not. I think Sun Fury is better. Sun Fury and hit him in the face. So.
Shields up.
The Sun Fury allows us to potentially deal with a fledgling if he wants to coin it out. Sure.
Probably ping the 2-1.
Yeah,
And the
pinging the
2-3.
2-1 is a good start. That's happening.
And then the 2-3 into one of the 1-2s.
Let's kill the one on the left more specifically, because that's the one with the battle cry. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just pass.
Yeah, I was just considering whether we play the flame, right? So try not to pass until I'm okay with it. That's all right. Because it might be a game where we're a bit more focused on tempo rather than that. Oh god. That's a really good way to beat mage. Get that thing. So, what would you like to do here?
Probably Aberrant.
Yep, Aberrant and hit him in the face. Untargetable minions are the bane of our existence right now. So, if he has removal, this is gonna be a bumpy ride.
Could ping the Berserker into the 4-5, though it kills them both. But then you know 3 mana to play with.
Yeah, I think ping the Berserker to kill that thing. It seems weird, but if that thing is allowed to live, it's very bad for us.
It's really awkward because you can't just hero power it.
Yep. Then we play the potion.
Yeah.
Tapped into a smaller minion, I suppose. Oh. Nice.
Oh, so he loses the battle cry, and it's a 1-1.
It's a much better board. I like that. Nice and tidy.
Fledgling ping?
I think we just dropped the 6/6 here. I think that
Oh yeah.
the penalty from going to a 3 from a 6/6 to a 3/3 is not worth the ping. Flame might get played here. Yeah, I think we played a flame because we have Sea Giant in a hand. Yeah, and it does well on the board. Double trades. Deal.
Works. Fire Plume, trade. Fledgling. Or you could Fireball.
Yeah, the thing is I really hate killing that thing for them. I think you're right. I think we just trade and then play the Flume and the Fledgling. Yep. This is a bit more risky if he has Hellfire or Abyssal.
Yeah.
Okay. Could discover Hellfire now, but that means he's taking 7 from a Hellfire and he loses 2 cards. That's fine.
Three mana spell. But yeah, Soulfire.
People are really afraid of that thing, as they should be.
It's like yeah. Well, it can still had that one turn where it had like Wind Fury and then got like
Yeah,
6 attacks.
it became a 7/7, right? It just
Yeah.
straight up was a 7/7.
Yeah. It's like, oh, so annoying to deal with. Could Sea Giant or Firelands? Sea Giant's probably the better play.
Yeah, I think we see Giant first and then trade to hedge a little bit around Fellfire Potion. If Fellfire wasn't a thing, I'd definitely jam him in the face here. Yep, Siphon Soul's unfortunate. So I was debating on using the portal last turn, but Sea Giant was just so cleaner.
Firelands give us minion.
Yeah, Firelands the face, then ping face. Get rid of some health. Oh, ping the minion instead. Okay, that's my bad.
It wasn't so quick.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah.
I legit told you. Like, on my own, I would have paused a bit, but it's so unlikely.
Shame.
Sure thing, buddy.
Probably just leave the Manner of the Light, to be honest. That +3 health makes things awkward.
Yeah.
Firelands, is that +2 attack per damage? 3 attack. So you could ping for 5, hit the Volcanosaur, which would bring it down to 4, and then Firelands to give us a minion.
I think this is a really weird turn, so I think it's kind of hard for you to get what I want, where I want to go. I think we trade the Gurubashi into the 2/2 and then play Counterspell Eggnapper and ping his Volcanosaur. But let's do things first. Let's trade into the Mana Wraith and then play Counterspell and Eggnapper, and then we'll see whether we need to ping our own guy maybe. I think he might have a Shadow Balls, right? Because he discovered the 3 health thing, so I'd ping his guy instead of our Gurubashi. Alright. That's a super weird turn, but I feel really bad with anything else. Because this keeps your burn in hand. This doesn't waste your burn. Aw. Kind of would have liked that. That would have been an interesting Spreading Madness. He probably knew. That's why he did that.
Possibly. Yeah, because it would have been a minute entity. He did hit face, I think.
Yeah, it would have been a pretty... No, he hasn't hit face yet.
Hasn't he?
We're at 27.
Oh, no.
So.
He was hitting with the 3 at the start.
Spreading Madness would have been really bad for him here. He must have had something to follow that up with, right? Maybe his cards were like Doom and Nether, and he was like, fuck, I ain't taking 10 damage. And then he like picked the Spreading Madness. Alright, it's the Fellfire we've been playing around.
Bonak, just Firelands, DF5.
We'll see. We might also get the double trade and ping. It all depends on our draw. When you feel sorry for about counterspelling an opponent's spell, feels bad, man. Yeah. It's like, can I take that back? Alright, so I'm just going to think out loud about this, and then we can make our decision, right? So play number 1 would be to portal this guy, and then potentially ping face, go face, which would deal 3. Our opponent would go to 12. We each have a 5-drop, 2 damage on board, and then Fireball next turn. The less aggressive, more economic play is Blaze Caller, ping double trade, and then you have the 6 on board.
And then you got,
I think I prefer Portal as minion because it's more chance we'll have him next turn for lethal because we get to push face with these guys in the ping. So I think Portal and minion is better. It's a tough decision to make. Yeah, let me just ping the face. Unfortunately, this is not summoned but only played because otherwise it would trigger.
Do we play an elemental last turn though?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Valve.
Alright, well, good game. Pew pew pew! GG.
Well, I could have fireballed this many.
Rough start to that game.
You asked for it.
tempted to keep Zenjin. It'll probably be better to toss it.
Yeah, I was also tempted, but it's Priest. I think I'd throw it. I think I'd rather have a 2-drop.
Mm.
Sure. Ooh, Malcazar.
Ooh.
Alright, Zelania, have a good one. Thanks for dropping by. Good as always.
Feels like a bad hand when you don't really have anything till tin for.
Yep, and we are also playing against the one class that counters this deck. So, unfortunate. Whoa, not like that though, not like that.
What?
I mean, that's not the worst play you can make, right? But it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Ping and pass?
Yeah, let's ping the minion. So this is Tempo Priest. Interesting. Ping the 2-1. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing to do. This is actually really good, right? If we have such a slow opener and our opponent has more of a snowbally approach rather than the super aggressive one, that would be bad for us. Alright.
Gonna drop 4.
Gadgets and Gazette always.
I was afraid of Reporter.
Get Berserker and still Fireball next turn.
The problem with that is that he'll double trade and then he'll lose Reporter. So I think we should Fireball the Reporter from the get-go and just bypass all that drama.
Yeah.
It also means that he may have been trying to get a buff on that Reporter and now he will not be able to do it.
Yeah.
Drink with me, friend.
Ooh, missed the damage.
Why do you call?
Interesting. 6 and 1. You miss the damage like that. I guess he's just not paying attention. So, what are you feeling like here?
Medivh, Ballet, and Ping, Brewmaster, but then he just trades it anyway. Still has the 1/3. Or you could play the Berserker.
So what does a Berserker look like?
It would look, it end up being a 5/1 if he trades everything into it.
That probably won't happen. We're pretty happy with that. But yeah, I mean, Berserker just looks better, right? He can't kill it on board. We get to kill a 1/3. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it wasn't like anyone can misplay, guys. I've misplayed with really sick decks. I've misplayed with really poor decks. This guy, he knows the place. All right, I'm scared now. I am legit scared. Mind Blast isn't in the game anymore, but holy shit.
So 3 into the 1/3 always happens.
Not always. Probably. We could Meteor. That's basically what I'm saying. I don't think... Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it would
I don't
reduce
think it's
damage.
worth metering.
Yeah. I think the trade happens, yeah. And then what else do you want to do?
Could play Valet and Crab, or Poly the 3/2.
I'm happy playing Valet and Crab and then just pinging
Yeah.
the Brewmaster. He could have Potion of Madness here and trades, but that's fine. Like, our hand is sick, so we just need him to not hit us in the face.
But we get the 2 fire, well, we got a Firelands or a Blaze Caller next turn.
We have to keep the possibility open that this might be a little kid playing on daddy's account, going like, oh wow, an arena. Because I don't know, man, who the fuck Shadow Madness as it goes face there? Right? That just feels so unlikely.
Firefly into Blaze Caller next turn.
Maybe.
But that means
The
we don't
downside
get
of
the
Firefly
Firelights.
is that we don't get to cast a 7-mana card, and we have 3 7-mana cards, so we kind of want to play them. So what do you think here?
Ping. Oh no, you can't ping and Fireball. So trade in Firelands, then 7 face, +1 minion.
Yeah, let's trade off the Medivh's Valet and then Firelands this thing. Oop, let me just hit him in the face. So Dragonfire Potion's nasty, but there's not much to be done about it. Wasn't. I mean, we could have played Tempo Blaze Caller to play around it, but I mean, we have Firefly in the hand. That's just not gonna happen. Sure, don't care.
5-1 into 4-5. I could charge Devil's Slaw.
So there's a couple plays
And then that
available.
puts it in Dragonfire. Dragon Potion.
What's another line we could do here?
What to do?
Firelands again.
I think that's fine, right? I think I just played a Firefly and a Firelands. I think we need the Firefly first. Is Naga? Naga's still in, right? Yeah, I think we play Firefly first. Yeah.
What, on the...
Just
back?
yeah, just play it on the board. Doesn't matter where, and then you Firelands this thing. I think I'm not sure. I think you can still get Naga Sea Witch, right? Which would make your Firefly +5. So nobody's face.
Let's show our guests a good time.
Naga's out? Alright, Naga's out.
Blaze Caller 3-5. 1-2 into 1-1.
Blaze Caller the 3/5 is fine.
You need to play that on the right.
I'd put it on the far right. I don't think it matters too much, but yeah. We don't need to trade with our guy. We can just hero power the 1/1. I'm okay doing that. Yeah. And thanks. Yeah, this is. I don't know. This game is just. He's played so wasteful, and we've drawn so incredibly greedy, right? Lethal on
We had all
board.
the 7s.
Wait, did we have lethal? I don't think we had lethal, right? We could have polymorph, but you don't push any extra damage.
Oh, doesn't matter, does it?
It's fine. Please explain your lethal leverage. You know that when they have the gray border thing around it, you have to attack that minion first, right? Did you take that into account, leverage, or not?
Well played.
Not sure if we could have pushed lethal.
I'm pretty sure we couldn't, but I'm always willing to be
You
open.
couldn't play the Blaze Caller as well as
Yep.
Poly.
Alright, let's kill him.
Firelands and thing.
Yeah, he's very dead.
Stuff.
Yeah, he just like the shaping, the bluegill. That was just like he had basically in priest versus mage. What he does there is pass, we pass, he passes, we pass, and then he has bluegill to react in shaping for the late game.
Probably Mully the Hog Rider.
Keep the rest.
Maybe
Seems pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Fledgling and a phoenix. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Hog Rider goes. We've been drawing fairly well. Like the only game we didn't draw well was the game we lost. That was only because our opponent drew very well. The 2 from Embers.
Yeah. Just ping face.
Yep. Just ping in the face. Hoping he doesn't develop a 3 power minion. That would be nice. Sure.
Do you still play Fledgling?
This is why Fledgling is such a good card, right? If you need it, it's a 3 mana 3/3. And that's just what it's going to be here, unfortunately. But 3 mana 3/3, killing a 4/3, that's a good deal usually. Yep. If Fledgling would have been a 2 and 3, I think it would have still been a terror, because if it goes face, it starts adapting. but it'd be a lot less good because you couldn't do things like this. So that's once again that vanilla test thing I explained.
Fire Plume 2/2.
Yep, Fire Plume the 2/2. Hope he doesn't have kings. We have removal if he has, but prefer him not to do that, of course. That's such a crypt thing to say. What? Did I miss it?
I'd probably Senjin over fireballing the 3/5.
I agree with Senjin. Yep. Senjin pass and then we'll see. So in the Paladin matchup right now, you need to pay attention to turn 6. That's when they can play the spiked right steed or whatever it's called. It's the +2/+6, right? So that would be particularly annoying if that runt would get it because it has Divine Shield on it right now. So I'll have to pay attention to what we do this particular turn. Okay. Whoa. That's
Interesting.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, because even if I put it in next turn, it would have died because it would have been 3 health. I could trade and ping the 1/4, which would leave us with 2/3/2s. Hit consecrate.
Oh, well, I mean, Zrikti, I think it's obvious that the deck's just really good as well, right? I mean, we can be greedy here, right? But what's a particularly good card on this board?
Meteor.
Yeah. Let's just Meteor the 3 and 2. And then we just trade.
Yeah.
That's basically the upside of this deck. Because you have so many good spells, you don't have to be too worried about using one. Because, I mean, I get it, right? Meteor gets far from full value there, but the board is empty, which makes our play a lot better against the Steed.
Holly and Potion of Holly?
So, what happens if you polymorph? What's your play?
Polymorph the 6/6. And then you could ping and trade the 3/2 and the 1/1, which would leave 2/3/1s on board.
What happens if we fireball instead?
Of 1/1, same play.
Not the same play.
You don't have to waste. Well, you don't have to use the 2 mana on ping.
Which would allow us to...
Play Potion.
That's quite an upgrade, right? For a turn?
Yeah.
Get the secret up. So yeah, I like fireball and then free kill the 1/1 with the 3/2. And then Potion and go face. The upside of fireball as well is that your Senjin gets to live. Because if you polymorph, you probably still play Potion of Poly. Yeah.
Not the best thing it could have run into. Well, Senjin's dead either way. Firefly ping. Do you throw the Phoenix in to keep the Senjin alive? Because at least it's a taunt.
So what do you do if you Firefly and ping? What's the rest of your mana gonna do?
Well, that would be 5 left.
Kind of nothing we want to do, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you have a fairly expensive hand, it's almost always in your best interest to use a more expensive card, because otherwise you're going to fall behind on the board. So what's a reasonable turn to do here?
Firelands, Firefly.
A little bit overkill, right?
Yeah.
So what else could we do?
You could Devil Saw.
We could Devil Star, right? Yeah, let's Devil Star one of his dudes. And I would trade the Phoenix into the other one to play around the Steed still. Yeah. And then just push the 3. So this might be a little bit hard right now when there's a lot of options, but just use the method I told you earlier, right? Where you just talk about what you have on the board. This leaves us with a 7-6 and a 3-1 on an empty board.
Yeah.
If you portal, you're never gonna get a 7-6. Well, maybe you may roll an Earth Alley, but that's not guaranteed. You're probably gonna do poorly.
That actually makes this engine live more. But oh, I suppose everything's 3-3. Fireball ping gets rid of the 3-7. And then 3-3 trade with 3-3 empty boards.
So with our
Oh,
particular hand, right? We're probably going to use
could do
either
Hog Rider.
Poly or Fireball to get rid of this. That means we have 5 mana left. If we hero power, we only have 3. So what would be better?
Hog Rider.
Yeah, let's play Hog Rider first. And then what else do we do?
Poly the 3-7.
Yeah, Poly to 3-7. And then go from there. What do you want to do here?
Could just push face.
We could push
5 plus
face,
6.
but I think the Steed is once again in our mind, right? So I think 5 into the 3-3, Devil Star into the 1-1, push 3 face. Just taking it one nibble at a time, right?
Yeah.
This is what our deck does best, right? He plays things, we kill things. We don't react very well to him buffing and killing our things. Yeah, like if we can make him play this game, that's great, right? Because we can kill things any time of day. Like he plays things, we kill it. That's our motto. They play things, we kill it.
Can't do anything for Firelands.
So, what can we do this turn to win the game next turn?
Not sure.
Oh, take a stab at it. What do we have in our hand?
Doppel?
I don't think this is going to guarantee
No.
anything, right? You could consecrate. What's an almost guaranteed win?
Firelands face.
Let's Firelance's face. Go from there. See what we get.
5.
So all our minions go face. That's for
So if you
sure.
push face, then you can fireball next turn.
Let's put all the minions in his face. I just want to figure out whether we want to ping the 1-1 or not. I don't want to do the math. Yeah, we can ping the 1-1. That's fine. I wouldn't play the Firefly, because if he heals, we might need to play the long game.
Yeah.
I guess we would have still gotten the token, but yeah, I don't think it's a huge thing. So, it's difficult, right? Like, even though our deck is really good, piloting a deck like this perfectly is difficult. Because Mage is definitely going to be a little bit more forgiving when you're getting better at Arena.
You asked for it. It is on.
Probably throw them all. Keep the pint sized.
Yep, let's keep the pint sized.
So we got 2, 3, and 4.
Yep, pretty good draw. Pretty good draw.
You could coin out pint size, and that way you can play Agnes for turn 2. If it doesn't kill it, which I don't think you can.
I think I'd like to start with the Valet, because if we start with the Valet, we have a chance that it might free kill his 2 and 2 if he has that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm a big fan of playing a 2 and 3 on turn 1, because there's a decent amount of times where this gets good value. Loot hoarders, hydrologists, those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, that's completely fine with us. I'm actually happier that Frostfall,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're always thinking, oh dear God, what's in the glyph? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
play the pint size now.
Do you know, on streams, I always thought the sea giant's face was in the middle, not at the top. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was like crouching down. It's just really weird seeing it so close. I'd probably rather play the Berserker here rather than the Ignapper.
Yeah, the only
If you
problem
can-
is the secret, right? Secret is a little concerning.
Yeah.
Especially because he knows we have the ramp. It's very likely he would like to play Mirror Entity here.
So Ignapper as normal.
It's just a tough turn. That's it,
Yeah.
basically. I think we start by hitting his face. I don't... If it's Vaporize, I'm more than willing to play Ignapper. It's not... I think I just play the Potion of Polymorph, honestly. If it's Mana Bind, whatever. Yeah, it's really likely to be Mirror Entity. I don't want to give it to him. Yeah. So this is a very specific play. Normally you'd never play Mirror over Berserker. Or rather Potion of Poly. But because we have a strong read, our opponents played Mirror Entity. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Alright, so what can we do now?
I'd probably play Egg.
I like the Ignapper as well. If it's Mirror Entity, we have enough mana to ping it.
Oh, you wouldn't want to. Oh, yeah, it's 3-1. So ping the 3-1.
Well, let's think about it. There is a play where you ping the 1-1 and go face. So if we were to ping the Ignapper and go face, trade, it's still kind of difficult for him. However, do we get a Sea Giant out if the Ignappers die and he doesn't get to trade off his guys? Ooh, I like that. Let's be sneaky. Let's just ping the 1-1 and go face, and then there's a high chance we'll get Sea... No, ping the 1-1, ping the... Oh my god.
1-1.
Gave me a little bit of a heart attack there. So. Alright, because Sea Giant, right? Both the Ignappers represent 2 minions. So if his Ignapper goes for 2, and our Ignapper goes for 2, that's +1/+1. This is already down to 5. He trades, it's down to 6. It's up to 6. He plays, it's 5. So if everything goes according to plan, we'll have a 5-mana Sea Giant. Ooh. Feels good. Sneaky! The sneaky plays.
So, Sea Giant?
Yep, Sea Giants. Good.
And then just pass.
Yep.
There's no point running it.
Yeah, this game was a little harder for coaching because there were such specific things, right?
Yeah.
Specifically playing for the Sea Giant here, and specifically playing around Mirror Entity on turn 3 there.
2 secrets.
Secrets, okay.
I'm late.
Oh my god. Hey Retro. What's up, man? Yeah, Retro. I don't do clickbait, dude. This is actually the best deck I've ever seen.
I
Tough
wouldn't
turn.
want to give him a Hog Rider.
Secrets always make things more interesting. Yeah.
I wonder.
Berserker isn't the worst.
I think I would play the Hog Rider. It's tough. It's a tough turn, but we're just gonna have to see what he has. Basically, I'm afraid of playing a spell because mana bind and everything.
Okay,
Holy
so it's not
shit.
Mirror Entity or Poly.
So it's really likely to be a spell-related one, and fairly likely to be a face-related one.
So A8 into 3-4.
Yeah, 8 into the 3/4. I like more. Yeah,
Runs out on me.
And then 5-5 into 5-5.
yeah, 5 into 5. It's pretty likely to be, say, Counterspell plus Vaporize. It could also be Counterspell Mana Bind. Could also be Spellbinder, that's less likely. Could also be Ice Block, that's really unlikely. Oh my god, this guy went for the full secret package.
Secret deck.
Secret deck indeed.
Fire Plume.
The only reason why I'm considering not to Plume is because the Plume sort of locks you into Blaze Caller.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So Berserker, because you can still kill it and it's still only 3 attack.
So the secret that was added is almost always mirror entity or thingamajiggy. Actually, it's probably okay, right? Because he's gonna counter our spells. We might want to Blaze Caller.
What to do?
Yeah, I think we actually Fire Plume his face because he probably has the spell things. We might want the reactive
Alright,
card
okay.
here.
Go on,
Wow.
just ping face.
And pass. Yeah, we're not hitting face. So it's okay. So now we can say it's almost always Vaporize, Mana Bind, and then random, right? Either
Yeah.
counter, either Ice Barrier, whatever.
Really wants the giant to hit face.
Yeah, he really wants that to happen, right? He really
You
wants
don't,
that to happen.
You don't do that to a 3/3 and not the 8. I can't ping and Blaze. Wouldn't want to particularly run. Well, he's probably going to run the 2-1 into 8-3 anyway.
Yeah, I think we just Blaze Color as 2-in-1. I think it's okay. It's a bit of overkill. And then we put that on the far right. Yeah, then we just pass again.
Ah, but
This is cool. This is the right. Yeah.
just leave it as is.
Just pass, yep.
Yeah.
Once again, trying this 3-3 to go there. Just hit the face with Giant? No, dude.
Yeah.
At least we positioned correctly for Meteor.
Yeah, they put it in the middle. That would have been bad. Berserker.
I think here I would go face, because if this gets vaporized, considering our board, that's fine. So the latest one was vaporized, cool. Alright, yeah, let's play our minions.
So Berserker and Healbot.
Yeah. And in general, you put your highest health minions to the left, but it's not super important for this one. We can fix it with the next card. Oh my god. Dude, are you he went for the full secret meme. How many of the 0... I'm wondering how many of the 0 mana he has. So this is actually a little tricky. Because counterspell mana bind. If he played mana bind first and then counterspell, he's gonna copy our card and then counter it, I think. I think that's how the interaction works.
He's not going to charge into the 6/6.
You always charge a 3/5 here. I mean, I guess he's debating a spell, but he has mana bind counterspell, so you always trade the 3/5 here. Time runs out on me.
Yeah, that was weird.
Huh.
Like, what spell would you rather give him if it is mana bind?
That is the problem, of course.
Probably
I think
Fireball.
I try to polymorph the 7/4 and go from there. It's a tough turn. It's a really tough turn.
Yeah, it's mana bind.
Mana bind and counter. I want to see if it's counter as well. And counter. Okay.
Alright.
So with that out of the way, what would you like to do here?
Meteor would remove both.
Seems like a good deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Meteor to 7/4, and then we get to go 6 phase. The reason we prefer to give him Polymorph is this Healbot. It's a really awkward Polymorph target. If you give him Fireball, he gets
Because you want to kill it.
Yeah, like, he wants to kill it, not Polymorph it, yeah. Looks like we will, yeah, successfully deny him the health. Good.
Another secret.
That is very likely, or well, not very likely, but that is somewhat likely to be a spell-related one again, because he didn't play it when he drew the secret. Now he also played Charge Devil Star.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where it gets a little.
It's probably either mana bind or counter spell.
I think we test with the Devil Star. If it is Potion of Polymorph, it just sucks. It's no other word for it. It just sucks.
It's not.
Sweet.
So 7/7 to 5/4.
Yeah, trade and ping his face. This is a cool game though. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of thinking. Secrets, I think when people play Secrets, they do pretty well against people who can't be bothered
Rush.
to think through it, right? They just like play cards, play cards. But if someone actually takes the time to really think about what it could be, secrets don't do that much.
Counterspell Fireball?
Yeah, just thinking we're pretty
he dies
close to
anyway.
actually killing him, right? But I think starting things off with Counterspell is fine, yeah. Seeing what the secret is. Skildy, thanks so much for subbing. Welcome. So that's fine.
So he has a counterspell.
Now the question is, do we just trade and ping his face? Or do we remove this and push the 7 and let him ping it?
I'd probably rather let him ping it.
Well, the thing is, if you fireball it, the fireball may as well go face later on or be flexible,
I
right?
say you could polymorph, and then you're essentially then have +6.
I have to push 7.
So then you'd only have to do 3 damage.
Yeah, I think I like polymorph, ping it, and push the 7. Very, very specific to our deck, but our deck is 2 fireballs and 3 portals, so.
Yeah, the only problem is that he does have a counterspell.
Yeah.
That'd be the thing.
It's good to think about these things, because the instinct is you trade, because he gets to ping it. Easiest trade of my life, right? But then you start thinking about it, and you're like, well, my deck is, for a large part, just burn. So, yeah.
Could poly, fireball, and ping.
Well, let's start by polying his guy. I think that's
Yeah.
a good start. We might ping it.
does have-
We might ping his face. Let's think about this. If we deal 7 now, that's 2 more rounds. Yeah, I would just fireball his face and ping his face. The reason we're fireballing preemptively is he has a counter spell in his hand. Yeah. So if he has a cheap spell to trigger our counter spell and then counter spell himself, it's kind of awkward.
An incredible discovery.
Okay, thank God. He has run out. It has
Yeah,
happened.
let's see if he has any more secrets.
Why not ping his face instead of killing the sheep last turn? We could have pinged face. I'm not sure whether it would have made a huge difference, but yeah, pinging the face was definitely an option.
Fairy dragon, ping.
Yeah, fairy dragon ping face. Just set it up right.
Yeah, but I say we could ping the fairy dragon, but he actually can't because
Yep.
fairy dragon.
I mean, he needs healing, right, or ice block, and we know he doesn't have an ice block because he pulled a secret, or he tried to pull a secret. So, or he might have ice block in his hand, but our counterspell is preventing him from playing it. Nope. The baby rage play, nice. Yeah, I bet that deck probably does well against a lot of people where he just goes like, draw secrets for free, play cards for free, pew 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 pew.
Jaina versus Jaina.
Oh, another mage.
You asked for it. Oh, it is on.
Probably keep the Sanjin. Maybe.
Yeah, keep this engine, I agree.
Oh, there you go. 2-2. Two dragon, then 2-3 Sanjin. Coin.
I think we're just passing, yeah.
Yeah.
Coining the dragon gives us little upside. So, would you like to play the dragon or would you like to coin the fledgling?
Dragon.
I
Because
agree.
otherwise, he can trade and ping.
Yeah, you can just trade anything. Sure. Curious as to whether he trades off this fairy dragon or not. He does.
Probably coin out Senjin. Yeah.
It's actually a tougher turn.
Mm.
If you coin Senjin, what are you doing next turn?
4 mana.
What to do?
I think it's just the fledgling. See what he does.
Yeah.
And then we have the option to potentially fireball this thing and go face. I'd rather not, but we'll see what he does. Or we could just play Senjin. Looks like he has the geyser. Oh, sure. And geyser? Wait, he's okay with us going? Interesting.
I don't know.
Well, let's go face first and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Interesting strategy there, my friend.
Win Fury or health? Ugh, neither. Probably can't be targeted by hero power.
This is actually this is an incredibly poor roll. Holy shit. We'll go with can't be targeted, I agree. Now, one play is to play Senjin and hope he doesn't get through. The other play is to just fire Plume and say you can trade. What do you like? I think Senjin's correct, yeah. Just try it out. If he has to fireball
If he
Senjin,
can't
it's
get
okay.
through, then he can snowball. Especially now as he can't just ping it.
Well, we know he has a taunt from the Stonehill, and we know he has the Stonehill.
Okay.
So just going face is not incredibly likely, but we'll see what he does.
Alright.
I think I would have double traded if I were him. Interesting decisions.
Can't do much with 3.
So, what do you feel like?
What to
Well, I want to get rid of the, well, ideally get rid of the taunt, but how to do it? You could trade. You have a 3/3.
I think we start off with using the Senjin and the hero power, right? On the 1/4? Yep. And then we just go face for 3, see what happens. I was thinking about coin Meteor, but it's unnecessary.
Plus 3 health.
Yes, plus 3 health.
And then you could coin out Fire Plume, the Brewmaster.
Where would you place the Fire Plume?
Left. So we could meteor them both.
I think that's the
Would
play.
you-
I'm just trying to figure out whether we kill the spell power. I think killing the Brewmaster is better, though. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Blizzard, which concerns me.
Yeah. So far left.
Yeah, let's shoot a 2 and 2. Far left, shoot a 2 and 2. Oh, that's far right.
Oh, wrong way.
It's alright. No one ever has a punish in Hearthstone anyway. It's cool. Oh, so good! Playing around the Blizzard, boys. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. Alright.
Wouldn't really want to fireball it. Could doppel.
This is disgusting. So normally the right play is just to pass, but the thing is that we will force AoE if we remove this. So I think actually polymorph this and ping it.
Right.
It's so bad, but I mean, if this board sticks, we kind of just win. So essentially what we are doing here is we are exchanging our polymorph for his flame strike, which is a reasonable deal. Because as long as he has flame strike, we can't play doppelgangster.
Alright.
The thing is, like, you might say, but he doesn't have to flame strike. The thing is, like, if we leave that Brewmaster on the board, he just pings and trades, and he doesn't have to flame strike, right? He can just play a 5 health. He can just play a 5 drop.
Yeah.
Fireball. I prefer to keep the fireball because we have reach in hand, and we might just get there. Whereas Meteor kind of kills anything anyway.
3 true extra. I can't file on jumping. Tempted to poly just so we can go face with the fledgling again.
Yeah, I think I'd polymorph it and go face with the fledgling.
Probably +3 health again.
Yeah, another 3 health. It's nice. Yeah, then I just ping his guy and go face. We're just abusing the fact that we have burn in hand, so we're playing very aggressive.
We got Fireball and Fireland, it's 11. You could Meteor.
Yeah, that's Meteor. I'm totally down. Yep. This is what you do if your hand is that good, right? You just kill him. This is why I was comfortable using the polymorphs.
Wind Fury.
Wind Fury, there it is. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That's when it really snowballs. Probably +3 health again.
Yeah, more health, more better.
Oh, another priest.
Jaina versus Tyrande.
You only give me strength. You asked for it.
Probably ditch everything but the crawler.
Guys, we are currently 10-1, not 9-1. This is a bet for 12 wins. Let me know whether you think this is gonna go 12 or not. With exclamation mark bet yes, the number of coins, or exclamation mark bet no, the number of coins. Cool. Crawler definitely stays. I agree. I don't think the only one you could consider is Potion of Polymorph because it's something to play. I think we'd rather look for our Fledgling or Sinjin or so. So I agree. Let's throw it.
Ooh, nice.
Good draw, good draw.
Could coin out 3-2. He plays something like Yorkshire Cleric.
So I think I would pass here for the simple reason of Potion of Madness. Because if you coin out Crawler and he passes and we play Drake, then he steals and we're very sad. So I would just pass.
What about Dragon? The Fairy Dragon?
Well, he can always steal the Crawler. So basically my concern is we coin something, he passes, what do we do, right?
Yeah.
That's my concern. So I would pass here. If it's a different class, I think I'd coin out the Crawler. But versus Priest, I don't feel inclined to give him a Potion of Madness board. There are obviously punishes for this, right? He could now just develop a 2-drop and then next turn play a Talon Priest on that. I think that is part of the risks. I think Potion of Madness is too annoying.
More likely to get Potion of Madness than you are Talon Priest, though, right?
Well, yeah, because Potion of Madness is 1 card. Talon Priest requires him to have the Talon Priest and the 2-drop.
So just play the Fairy Dragon as normal.
Yeah, no, I like the Fairy Dragon. Can you give a rundown of what happened last game? The last thing I heard was a Charged Devil Star killing our Fledgling, and then I was gone.
Yeah, Charged Devil Soul ran to Fledgling. Then I was on 8 mana. So I Fire Lance the 7-4. So could Coins Engine.
It's a bit weird. Because Coins Engine means that we go ping Gorlaka next turn, which is not the worst. So I think there's 3 plays here to consider, right? There's pass, right? There's just like face ping face. There's face Gorlaka, and there's face Coins Engine. I think face Coins Engine's fine. It's a little faster, right? But it has the least amount of beats. I think we're okay with that. Shady back feels good, man. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Stupid disconnect. But I'm glad we were able to finish the coaching session. That's the most important thing. Lost 600 viewers. Guys. If only that, right? It's no problem.
Do you even have 600 reviews?
We had 800 viewers, yeah. 800,
right.
800 people are watching the disgusting mage display. So, what are you thinking here?
Could trade and ping to kill off the 2/4.
What would you ping off? Would you trade your ferry or would you trade this engine?
Senjin, see these had.
I
So
agree.
you have 2 minions on board.
Senjin ping, that's fine. Excavated Evil is no longer a card, which makes this play a lot safer than it was before.
I wouldn't feel too bad about the crab, because I'd have to run into the taunt.
Yep, we can put it on the far left, and then that's pretty good for us. Yeah, now that Excavated Evil is out of the pool, this feels a lot better. Doesn't wear cool glasses. Hey, Casey. That's pretty much as good as it gets, right, for us?
Hog Rider, Fairy Dragon, ping phase.
Say that again?
Hog Rider to get the charge.
Yep, Hog Rider's fine.
Fairy Dragon, so it's a 1/1. Ping it, and then 2 for face.
You mean you'd like to double trade with your little guys, or?
No.
Let's start by playing Hog Rider. Let's get that out of the way. So we're now out of mana, right? So what would you like to do?
Oh yeah.
That's
Hog
cool.
Rider's 5 mana.
It would be pretty good at 3 mana. It'd be pretty darn good.
Can't count, don't worry.
I think I'd use the 5 to kill it and just go face with the little guys. Yeah. That's fine. Cool. I mean, there's definitely a
What
talk.
if it was turn 7?
Yeah, if it were turn 7, we might play Sea Giant. I don't know. Hog Rider is probably still better there because you get to push some damage.
Let me change your mind.
Yeah, and then turns the 2/2 into the 3/2. No? Oh no.
Hey, Storm Scryer.
You don't get to attack on the tin, you control it?
Oh, no. That'd be ridiculous. Stupid card.
Oh.
It's already dumb enough. Don't give him any ideas, please.
No, I always thought you got it if it wasn't, if it already could attack. Could clear boards?
I think this is another one of those I'm gonna do this because my deck is good kind of plays, and I would just meteor the 4/5. It's
Yeah.
because we get to push phase damage that way. Yeah. So if your deck was worse and that was like, oh my god, this meteor is our only thing to remove stuff, you'd probably like go Sea Giant and trade. But because your deck's really good, we can just say, all right, let's go. Let's see what you got, baby. And then we just try to kill him next turn. Sure.
Oh.
One polymorph, please.
Charge Devil Saw.
Thank you.
Sheep. Thank you, sheep.
Yep. Polymorph seems good. So before we ping the sheep, let's go face for 8 and see if we need to ping his face or not.
Really? Because we can just fireball next in.
Yeah, I would just ping the 1/1. That's fine. Can you tell us what happened then? I was also disconnected, Dictator. Otherwise the stream would have been online.
Yeah, there was a 7/4 on board, so I Firelands Portal, which got me a red mana worm. He then played Creator. You know, yeah, so I fireballed the Creator because it had 6 HP, push for 4, and then Firelands Portal the next turn.
Pretty straightforward. He was getting pretty low, right? So yeah, that was pretty good.
He was at 11 health, I think.
In other words, if your deck has tons of value, you don't need to squeeze value out of each and every card. Yeah, exactly. Because our deck has so much burn, we can just use our removal on his board, push face, and then kill him with the burn. So, shall we kill him with the burn?
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking, there's 2 minions on board, and I thought, wait a sec, I've got a fireball.
Wham! Got him. Absolutely. So, Dane Dog, the reason why we are comfortable using Meteor on that board is because we have reach in our deck. So pushing damage is really good, and if our opponent plays a big minion, we don't just suddenly lose because there's 4 more polymorphs in our deck, 3 more Firelands. You get the point, right? There is a lot of resource left to go.
Full mulligan.
I agree. Full mulligan. This is the best arena deck I've ever seen. I would say so. I think you'd struggle to find a better... Like, there's always a better arena deck, right? But I haven't seen it. 4 polymorphs, 3, like... Just start with that, like 4 polymorphs. Who has 4 polymorphs? Alright.
I'm not sure if you could get actually more removal in this constructed deck.
Yeah, right? Because you can't get more than that copy.
High play just Medivhs.
Yep, we just play the valet and push. I have to say, we are curving out much better than we should.
So yeah,
with this
you got
deck.
1, 2, polymorph and 4.
This is, yeah,
And
pretty
5
insane.
hook.
Usually the price of having such a greedy deck is your mulligans are really awkward, but we've been getting pretty lucky.
Shame that I wasn't turn 4 because I'd be tempted just to poly it just so he didn't get the extra spell.
I don't think that's usually worth it, because poly can deal with anything, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the only decision we need to make here, like we're playing fledgling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that over with. The only decision we need to make here is whether we kill it for free with the Medivhs or whether we trade off our Firefly. What's your reasoning here for doing
Probably
either?
rather trade off the Firefly and still got the extra 2 on board if he plays a 3-2 or something. Or 5 health minion.
I think I'd rather free kill it with the Valet because I think he'll be preoccupied dealing with the Fledgling, right?
Yeah.
He can't do Potion of Volcanic Potion and Coin Pig. It's too early for that. So we don't get punished in that way. So I like the free kill with the Valet here. Because we already have so much pressure with the Fledgling. I doubt he's going to be comfortable just hero powering this.
And we lose the Frostbolt either way.
Frostbolt kills it regardless, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Flame is alright.
Well, as he pulled Blake, or he finally mental for that.
So what do we do this turn?
Probably just push face and ping.
Yep. He's going to be very pleased to see that. But can't really do much else. But that's okay. This deck is going to have turns like that. You can't have this much removal and not have sometimes a pass turn. The upside is that he can't really get that far ahead on the board because we'll just polymorph everything. Let's hope he just plays Tar Creeper here. Wouldn't be an unreasonable play like Tar Creeper Coin Ping for him, and then we get the Hog Rider it. Polymorph on our own minion and pass. Yeah, that seems like a good play. Firefly, time to become a sheep. Meh. Are we saving the Elemental for synergy? Absolutely, Dane Dog. We got a Blaze Caller in our hands, so a 1 mana 1/2 does virtually nothing on this board. But if this would read 1 mana 1/2 Battle Cry, your 7 mana 6/6 deals 5, yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll save this for the turn before Blaze Caller.
I mean, with 3 polys in hand.
Nah. I would just play the 5/5 and go face. I think that's what we do. Like we might polymorph it next turn if we need to, right? But at least then the 5/5's on the board.
Yeah.
Also, we might draw a means to deal damage to this. We might draw Phoenix. He might ping it preemptively to trade into the 5/5 because he doesn't know whether we have 2 damage, right? And then it's also dealt with. This deck makes you sick? It shouldn't. It should make you all like, feels good, man. Just watch that this deck is like wrecking people because we have better cards. Feels good, man. The spirit of Hearthstone. Beat opponents with superior cards. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna pick and trade.
Looks like he's just gonna do that for us. That saves us a little bit of work. Would be nice to just get like Doppelgangster or Corrupted Healbot here. Just something to play. Even Aberrant. Oh wow.
Shattered Sun. Or Flame Elemental kind of always goes down unless you want to save me.
So I tried to sneak it in a little bit of inconspicuously, right? So I would play the Crawler first, and then ping trades, and then play the Flame Elemental, so that our opponent doesn't get like, oh, this Flame Elemental needed to hit the board immediately. Yeah, no, just play it and pass. Because when people see like, oh, he really slammed that Elemental, then they quickly make the connection, oh, he really needed that to proc something.
Alright, so that's a bit like...
It's a bit of a mind game, yeah. People have this, I don't know, like, at least, let's say if you're playing a secret and a minion tied together, right? That used to be a good indication it was Duplicator Effigy. Because you wanted to link that, right? You're like, all right, I'm playing this minion and I'm playing this secret. So...
Ah, I got stealth.
I mean, sure.
No, it'd just be nice to
Yeah, it'd be very nice to Blaze Color it, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I think that's
goodness.
Explosion Blaze Color face.
Yep, Blaze Color the face. Nice play around it. Okay, keep in mind to put the smallest minion in the middle, by the way.
Yeah.
For Meteor, right. This is still fine, right? I'm just hitting his face. Just hitting his face. The deck is so good, it destroys the player, not just the hero. Yeah. You just stop playing Arena after this. Hit the 1-2, let's go.
Yeah. Could double poly.
We could.
That's a lot. It's a lot. Oh.
So I'm just trying to figure this out, right? How do we kill him with these 2 portals? If we poly push 3, 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 6 is 15. So if you're willing, like, this is a little bit more difficult, right? To already count ahead, but you could poly this 5-6, ping his face, go face. Next turn, Fireless Portal, ping his face. The turn after, Fireless Portal, ping his face. That's lethal over 3 turns, but it requires him to not have counterspells. We have polymorphs. So I think I would polymorph the 5-6 here, and then just ping his face and go face.
Yeah.
It's extremely obvious what we're doing here. Like, basically the ping on the face instead of the 1-1 is, hey, I have burn, I'm going to kill you. So if he has healing, if he has counterspells, he's going to be like, oh my god, go, 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 go. I need to heal, I need to counterspell, go, go, go. However, if he doesn't, all he can do is watch his health just melt away, like, no!
He still has that spell from turn 3 from that.
From the shimmering, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't give a shit, dude. So, if I were him, I would assume my opponent has double fireball. So I would have healed or I would have played counterspell. So I think we might be okay to still okay with the Fireless Portal. The thing is we could also polymorph the 6-8 to and then fireball his face. That also sets it up and it's a little less risky, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I think that's better. Yep. Oh, bam. Oh, this deck, man. Holy shit. It's just like, it's super casually like holding him off while shooting him in the face. It's like, no, you don't get to play things. Alright, he needs Ice Block here. If he has a secret, it gets a little weird. Spellbender won't work. Counterspell, Ice Block. Nope.
Freezing potion. Freeze face.
Alright, GG. This is so dumb. But hey, you gotta think of it, right? You gotta, oh my god. you gotta set it in motion. Sweet. Good shit. Alright. That's okay. Let's look at the pack.
Ooh, Golden Jade Claws.
Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty decent reward. Golden Jade Claws. That Blaze Caller face. Yep. That's just what you do if your deck is really good. It's like, hey, let's just start throwing shit at his face and kill him.